everybody, and welcome to the Wrestle Pierce podcast. This is Wrestle Pierce episode 53. Back at it again on another Thursday. It's your boy, backup Hangman, Hollywood Hangman Adam Pierce, hosting this week with Charlie and Monty.
Yeah.
Just another Thursday, another Dynamite review. Gonna just kind of take it easy. I'm seeing immediate tomatoes in the chat, unfortunately, but yeah, man. We're back at it. We're here to talk some Dynamite, some of the news that's going on, most of which surrounding Dynamite and coming out of the show. So I'm happy to kind of get into it with the crew. Charlie, what's going on?
Yeah, doing good. Just been visiting some friends, hanging out. I didn't watch Dynamite live, which was weird because of I haven't not watched it live since like July. But yeah, all caught up. Excited to talk. Yeah.
Monty, why is the territory dead?
Well, no. Hold on. There's still a long way to go. But,
No,
you're very, pretty down about things at the moment, aren't you?
I'm a very sad boy.
You are, man. It's what happens, bro. You lose your favorite wrestler. You start looking at things from different angles, bro.
Is this what elite fans? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I could reply to that really nasty, Charlie, but I'm not a spiteful man and I'm not going to send stray shots at men that don't deserve it just because I'm bitter. But just know that I could be spiteful, but I won't. It's interesting, Mossy. You make an interesting point there. I know, like a lot of elite fans, for example, right? Like a lot of people were just really suffering from Kenny Omega withdrawals the first time before he came back, and when they kind of got Kenny taken away from them a second time, like in a very short period, like it kind of really like fucked with people. And I know a couple people who they like AEW specifically for the elite primarily, where like the elite is like basically 65% of their enjoyment of the promotion, if not more. And for like those people, AEW is like not the same without them. And I'm actually really looking forward to just in general, like seeing kind of what the reaction is going to be upon return and what they do when they come back. So that's going to be fun. I will be there at Full Gear this in 2 weeks. Not even 2 weeks, in like a week and a half.
9 days.
9 days. It's kind of crazy, right, guys? Like this thing just kind of came out of nowhere. Like I don't know. I feel like pay-per-views now, they just kind of like slap you in the face, like the AEW ones. It's just like, oh shit, now we have 3 weeks, and then like they just announced like 17 matches and stuff. But this week's Dynamite was very newsworthy. They really started to hammer home some of the angles for Full Gear and establish a lot of the undercard. And as a result, there's been a lot of news. I guess the biggest is probably, we knew the Elite were coming, but it was pretty much officially confirmed on Dynamite that they're returning at Full Gear, right? What do you guys make of this announcement? What do you guys think of this method that they're going about kind of re-debuting the Elite? Do you guys like the kind of cryptic vignettes that they're running?
I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with them, Yeah. It's just we were talking about before we went live. I'd personally prefer it if they actually shown up before Full Gear, and help give the pay-per-view a bit more juice, etc. I'd like to see them actually wrestling on the show. So obviously they would need to, settle some sort of angle for a match on the show. So it depends what the actual end game of these teases are, because if it is just them showing up at Full Gear with no match and it's just an angle, like obviously it'll be great to see them again, but at the same time, I want them wrestling on the show, man.
Okay, Charlie, what do you think about this? Like, before I even say anything, before you say anything, we've seen in recent years, like last year with CM Punk, they told you he was coming back without telling you. Right, with the Rampage the Rampage Last Dance and the whole kind of teaser they did there, WWE with this Bray Wyatt QR code thing. I think we all pretty much could tell that he was coming back, or that it was him, right? Yeah. Even though they didn't say it. It's an interesting recent trend that we're seeing with wrestling, where like they're trying, because when you overtly say somebody's coming at a show, it takes away the surprise. And it's like, I feel like promotions, they want the surprise factor while also advertising the individual so that they can increase.
Pop a number, sell tickets, do whatever you need to do,
Exactly. Sell tickets, all that stuff, right? And so this new middle ground that they're doing is just an interesting trend that I'm seeing. So what do you make of it?
I really like it, which I know sounds hypocritical because I didn't like the Bray Wyatt stuff, but it is what it is.
It is like borderline QR code lore shit too, low key.
Yeah.
Low key.
I went through the teaser video from this week's Dynamite, and there was a couple of interesting things in that. The only BTE clip they used was the one
Charlie going through it in slow motion.
Wait, I need to find the screenshot.
You're literally doing the Bray Wyatt lore shit.
I am doing it. But people miss these things, so if no one talks about it, then the only clip from BTE that they used was episode 100, which is titled Finale. And then the AEW logo at the end didn't even have the E in it. So I was talking to a friend about it, and we were like, are they dropping the Elite gimmick and coming back as just something different? And maybe that's why they're just going to pop up at the pay-per-view and not wrestle if they don't wrestle. I don't know.
I think the dropping of the E was just to represent... We're fucking breaking down lore here, but I think it was meant to represent... I think it was just representing that AEW's been without the E this entire time. You know, a lot of people always say, like, what's AEW without the Elite? Like, they're literally the middle letter in the acronym. And I think I think that's just all it was. It's that, you know, AEW kind of like deleted the Elite from the existence. You know, when they did the show after All Out, right? Tony Khan didn't even say their names by name. They just said that the Trios Championships and the World Title are vacated. You know, they were like we just pretended that they didn't exist. You know, when Hangman alluded to them in promo, he didn't say their names. You know, now that the investigation's over, you're seeing their names being used and stuff. But for a period, it pretty much was just kind of like, don't acknowledge the existence of the Elite or CM Punk. So to me, that's what the E being, you know, or taken out.
It's just basically what they've been doing in all of them so far. How many has it been now? 2 or 3?
3.
Has been like
3. Okay.
We got they changed their bio earlier, saying some things can't be erased. So here we are.
Yeah. Law, you know how much I love law. You know? Anyway, Far 5222, $10. Appreciate you. The Elite and their friends, Cody, MJF, Marks Pack, and Lucha Bros is what got AEW to where they are now. Everything else is either gravy or trash. To be honest, wish nothing but the best for Wrestle purists. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Obviously, there's no denying that they are pretty much the foundations. Like, Rebecca Pangman literally just said, like, they literally, you know, middle word of the acronym. So, you know, we all know the story. You know,
Here's the thing, Monty, and I said this like in the past when like AEW fans would kind of panic about like, oh my god, what if you lose this guy and that guy? Like, especially during the tamper period where like it seemed like, you know, a couple guys were being contacted by WWE. You know, before we kind of knew that Tony Khan was just straight up not going to release people, like I kind of just assumed that Tony would grant releases to those that asked for it, like at the time. And I didn't panic the way other fans did because, frankly, for all the talented guys that AEW employs, there's only a select core of them that need to be there, like kind of forever, for AEW to be AEW, so to speak. You know, to me, if AEW keeps, and this is my thinking at the time, if they keep Danielson, CM Punk, Jon Moxley, the Elite, and a couple others that escape me, it's like they're fine. You know, a couple of these other guys that even the ones that are really talented, you know, if they lose a Miro or an Andrade or a Malachi or, you know, whoever in that next kind of tier that were guys that kind of signed later, it's fine. I think the only like signing that came later from like the initial core that like needed to be kept were Punk and Danielson personally. But that's neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter because TK is not letting anybody go. You know, but so this is the situation. The Elite are coming back. Really interested to see what that's going to do for the fan base. I think the fan base will see it as like a welcome morale boost. You know, in the sense that like for those people that maybe were kind of not as into the shows as before, I think even if the show quality doesn't really particularly change, just the added presence of the Elite and them wrestling regularly is just like, it's just an easy goodwill tactic for Tony, you know.
If you got your top stars healthy, you want them around, especially when there is important as the Elite are in AEW and to the core fan base and stuff. But yeah, it's been a weird year for AEW, whether it's been injuries, whether it's been investigations, whether it's been this or that. Like, it's been I wonder when it'll be, even not with CM Punk removed, like how long it'll be until, you know, everyone's actually back. Like, Hangman's out for the minute, Adam Cole's out at the minute, the Elite are still out at the moment.
That's a good point. Wow, you kind of forget who's missing until like you say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you go through the list. It's crazy, and there's been something with everyone throughout the year. Like Danielson had those concussion scares. You know, it's just
Scorpio Sky's still out.
What? I mean, you know, so like.
Moving on. Like, subscribe, super chat, all that good stuff.
Right. Yeah. Guys, make sure as you guys are still filing in here for the Wrestle Pierce podcast, Wrestle Pierce number 53, to like the video, comment, subscribe, share the video, tell your friends, tell your mother, tell your children, because we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about a Dynamite episode yesterday that furthered the build to Full Gear. That begs a question, Monty. When was the last time AEW was really at full strength? Like, All Out felt like AEW at full strength to me, you know? Like, I tweeted about, like, that being the last time things felt perfect. Even though the show wasn't, like, perfect completely, all the top guys were there that were available, except, like, Adam Cole,
the last time they were full strength was the end of All Out. Probably, you know.
Adam Cole wasn't on that show though, right?
True.
But technically, like, besides him, really, like, he's the only major absence.
Yeah, he'd be the only one. Then, because obviously MJF came back that night. So it'd be only Adam Cole. Because remember, Tony Khan was on podcast saying, "Oh, we're close to being back to full strength." Then. Then All Out happened, so it's unlucky, you know.
For sure.
But, man. We got another super chat real quick. Mr. Flu, $5. Appreciate you. What should be AEW's top 2 or 3 goals for 2023? One off the top of my head is get those live attendances back up because they've literally plummeted. Apparently they're going into new markets. Shivani said yesterday on commentary before he announced the UK thing, he said that they're going to be going into 2 new markets. So AEW does get criticised a lot. Look, it's probably a bit harder for me and Charlie to tell over here in the UK, but AEW does get criticised a lot for like constantly like appearing in the same markets, and there's still places that they haven't been where, you know, a lot of fans feel like they should have been. So if they do start tapping into more like a wider range of markets, hopefully that does hopefully that does bring the attendance up, because if these same markets keep getting shows like every once a month or however often they're getting them, then obviously the attendances are just going to drop and drop and drop. So, you know, more variety with the venues and the city that they're visiting will hopefully help that. But overall, they need to get those attendance numbers back up to where they were in 2021 when they were comfortably clearing 5K, etc. Now it's like, I think they've done 3,400 yesterday, which is good in comparison to what they were doing in previous weeks. But even that, 3,400 is nothing to, celebrate really. But,
so you're saying the big aim should just be to increase attendance.
Yeah, because that's an overarching thing, kind of a cheat answer really, because what's going to improve into attendance, So it's
For me, Monty, I want AEW to really take a hard look at diversifying its presentation from a show standpoint, and I'm talking about graphics, sets, designs for rings, things like that. One of my favorite things about pro wrestling, ever since I was a kid, is just the visuals, and I always loved when there's visual differentiation between show to show, right? And I love for pay-per-views where the theme of the pay-per-view matched the set and stuff. Armageddon had the burning buildings and stuff like that, and you had the graphics for it, and they changed the rope, the colors of the rope, right? WCW in the 90s, they put these
they loved all that cheap shit, anything where they could make a show different without actually doing anything,
I love that stuff. I love when pay-per-views had the pay-per-view logo on the ring canvas, right? That stuff was so cool to me. you know, they used to just get really fun and quirky with just like the set designs and the little flourishes they do. I just came across a clip on social media of Cactus Jack versus Triple H Royal Rumble 2000. That show was in Madison Square Garden, where like back in the day in Madison Square Garden they'd have those like kind of open door gates that you came out of. It wasn't like the big set.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the design for that show, it was a super like grungy, graffiti, broken down New York like alleyway entrance. It's so cool. It's just so fucking cool. Could you imagine if AEW hit New York again and just had a set like that? Like Eddie Kingston's coming out and like the set is just broken cars and graffiti and broken whatever. So I think honestly AEW should really take a hard look at their presentation from that standpoint, because there's very little difference between what Dynamite looks like, what Rampage looks like, and what pay-per-views look like. It's very little, very different. It's just very little difference. And personally, I know some people couldn't care less about that shit, like Parker, for example. But for me, it really matters. So much so that certain shows, when they just look different, I feel better watching it. So I want them to take a hard look at that. The other thing that I would like, if anything, is I want Tony Khan to try to put more of a spotlight on highlighting Lucha Libre, because I think when AEW started, I think that their style in ring was very heavily leaning towards like PWG, right, and kind of that multi-man party match style of wrestling, right. And I remember when I watched it, I remember thinking like, oh man, it's just. I remember I liked AEW a lot, right? But I really thought that they were lacking in certain types of wrestlers. I thought AEW was lacking in technical wrestling and like big men, right? And they did a great job in filling in those holes over the next 2 years. You know, whether it's signing Archer or some other guys, Brian Cage and Brody King, Brody Lee, God rest his soul, and so many other guys. You know, Danielson, Daniel Garcia, Wheeler Yuta, CM Punk, and other technical wrestlers. They've really done a great job of adding variety to their roster, right? But to this day, the one thing that they're lacking is just a lot of different like luchadors, right? And it's doubly frustrating because sometimes I'll see these GCW cards, right, where they'll have these like really cool, quirky six-mans and stuff with people that they're putting on these shows, right? And I'm not saying Tony needs to sign every single luchador you see on a GCW card at all. But I don't think it would hurt them to do kind of the WCW thing where they'll just throw international guys on TV out of the blue and let them just do some cool shit. And the ones who stick can be signed. You know, I went back to Double or Nothing, the first one, and I saw like the Joshi tag that they did. And like, I didn't realize back then how cool that was. You know what I mean? Like they just brought a bunch of Joshis in a multi-man tag, and it was just such a cool match. And a couple of them stuck and became AEW regulars. So I think leaning back in the Joshi direction and the luchadors and international wrestlers in general, right? Trickling them in throughout the shows is just it's not a bad way to fill TV in my opinion. So those are my two big ones.
Yeah, AEW is always best I thought when it feels like a crazy variety show, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, more of
absolutely.
More of that.
It sets them apart from WWE also. Sorry. It sets them apart from WWE also because it's like if the differentiation is just we have good matches, where I mean there's good matches on Raw and SmackDown, but they can't say that they can just pull a Joshi wrestler from Japan on a given week or a luchador. They can't do that, but you can. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, man. Like I said, AEW is always best when they're just kind of really, tapping into their advantages, like you said. Like it's like WWE can't just like bring in a Stardom wrestler for a week or something,
No.
AEW could potentially pull that off. Or even like a Tokyo Joshi Pro or anyone, but yeah, tap into those sort of advantages that they do have in the business. So, but AEW Dynamite. Where should we start? Should we start with Saraya? Because I'm sure that was the plan. We was going to open up with Saraya and ended up opening up with Young Bucks, Kenny Omega Law. So you get that's what you get. So yeah, Saraya, of course, has just announced that she is cleared to wrestle. This was done on AEW Dynamite last night in a face-to-face promo with Britt Baker. She's 100% cleared. They went back and forth. Some people loved the promo. Some people picked some holes in them. We'll get into them. But yeah, Saraya's back after, I think it was 5 years she was gone. You know, apparently she's been cleared. She went on Renee's podcast and talked about it. About that release like this morning, and yeah, man, she's back. A lot of people are happy. Some people don't quite get the hype, and yeah. Real quick before we dive into it, though, Young Dende super chat $5. Gotta miss Takeshita. I think everyone does, to be honest. Yeah, I think everyone like he was just like that guy that showed up and had these killer matches for a bit, and you know, I'm sure he'll be back somewhat soon. Though.
Can you throw up Can you throw up Isra's thing that she wrote in her question?
I can after the super chat.
Sure.
Yuzura Hart $5. 2023 AEW needs to reinforce its own identity. Saraya, Ruby Soho, and a couple of others have been booed for being from WWE and acting like it.
That's a great point.
Well, yeah. Where's this Israel? What are we looking for?
She asked a question, Philly. Go ahead, read it.
I don't know why WWE doesn't invite wrestlers for a one-off match. They bring in local jobbers, so why can't they bring in legit wrestlers for a night? Well,
it's rooted in McMahonism. You know, Vince McMahon is always the guy who believes that if you are not from my company and a star made in my company, then you don't matter and you're not a star. So just
Triple H tried a few years ago, sneaking a few things in. Like when NXT and stuff was like the brand for like mom and dad didn't know about, meaning Vince.
Yeah.
Triple H was like, you know, he'd do cool shit, like he brought Liger in, you know.
he brought Alex Shelley into an NXT
the Cruiserweight Classic, the Mae Young Mae Young, is it Cruiserweight Classic? It was Cruiserweight, yeah. And the Mae Young as well. And it's just, you know, you do those kind of quirky little cool little things that you want to see more of and kind of wish WWE did more of, but you know, then we got NXT 2.0. So
and the point I'm making is like the McMahon philosophy, like the idea of you bringing a guy that you didn't make and telling people, hey, you should care about him because he is a star. Vince can't fathom that because it's like, if he's a star, then why is he not in my company? You know, and so he just didn't believe in that, and so that's been a rooted thing since like literally going back years. When guys that work hyped up out of WWE and he brought them on, it was almost this condescending look at them like, well, what's so fucking special about them, you know, type of thing. It's always been like that. If you go back to when Taka Michinoku and Great Sasuke wrestled on Raw in '97, Vince is on commentary like looking for reasons to say why they're not good rather than to be like, oh, these are great big international stars. And that you know, that McMahonism, you know, philosophy trickled down to the Stooges and all the other company officials, and it's been the thing for decades. So that's the main reason.
Yeah, well, hopefully, though, we've, you know, Triple H and head of creative, we've seen him do it a few years ago. Hopefully, he does bring in, you know, one night pops, like the Liger thing I mentioned. Like, I feel like every fan of NXT of that era remembers that very fondly. Yeah. So, you know, it's do what you got to do to make it happen. Obviously, we've got the Shinsuke thing happening with Noah. Obviously, that's going in another direction. You know what I mean? But you know, I know everyone would call it nasty on the timeline and that, but like, imagine if Muta came back over and done a WWE on his retirement tour. Do you know what I mean?
They want him to. They want him to. That's
there you go. Like, well, that's the thing. Like, I'd imagine that they do. Like, and if you Muta, it's like, why not tick off WWE on your little retirement tour? Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole retirement tour in itself is just like a pop. So fuck it, just do whatever, you know.
the internal thinking is Muta has wrestled everywhere except WWE for all the years he's wrestled in wrestling. He's been in wrestling since the mid '80s, and he's been literally everywhere. But he's never been to WWE, and the WWE company thinking is either to bring him in for like the Rumble or like some people pitched him literally just having a second match at Nakamura at Mania. But the general consensus that even I was told like pretty much everybody agrees on is it'd be nice to have him appear on their programming for something before he retires, just so that they could put it on a video package because he will be inducted in their Hall of
Fame. 522. $10 super chat, appreciate it, brother. Do you guys feel stories and character work is important for AEW in 2023? It's always important. I love watching great wrestling, but I just want some elite like storytelling from before AEW existed. What
do you guys think?
Well, like I said, it always matters. You know, it can always get better. It's like even when a company's peaking and rolling and got all the momentum in the world, there's always stories and there's always stories and angles that have holes that you can poke in them and stuff like that. So, there's always going to be talent that you want pushed more or push less, and talent that you want the company to dive a bit deeper into with, and build some layers in storylines and stuff like that. But Tony's gonna definitely put his good matches on. I don't know about the storylines, but we'll see what happens.
They do need to focus more on the women's stories next year, because it's been a bit of a jumble. Like, we've gotten some good matches out of it, but it's kind of been all over the place.
Yeah, it's a bit. The actual story's being told as well. Hopefully, with people say whatever the one is Saraya like a 5-star worker or anything. No, she probably never has been. But
no.
The thing is that she has definitely a story that you can tell. And my hope for her in 2023 is that AEW can at least try and tell that story in a productive manner that is, does a lot for her and does a lot for the people that she works with. Because, like I said, she does have a pretty incredible story. It's not like she's not like a war veteran or anything, but she's been through some shit. Some of it's self-inflicted. A lot of it's self-inflicted, and that's why, it's good to see her back where she is now. She's cleared, and she seems like she's in a good frame of mind. She says some dumb shit on Twitter sometimes, but most wrestlers do these days.
Yeah.
To me, there's a charm to a lot of her issues being self-inflicted, because at the end of the day, she's a human being and nobody's perfect. And
wrestling fans love it, bro. It's not Marks.
And so her kind of going through a lot of shit, partially from bad life choices, and shaking it off.
Jeff Hardy, wrestling fans love it, bro. We just want to be we can fix you, man. Wrestling can fix you.
Exactly. Coming out on the other side, out of some really bad life choices, is admirable. And that's why I kind of struggle with Saraya overall, because I think the idea of her having the drug problems, right, having the injuries, having the public embarrassment from things, other stuff, it's easy to kind of fall apart from that, right? And she hasn't, and overall that's admirable, and it's it's applaudable, and it's the type of thing that you should be easy to kind of get behind and be a baby face, and people really are going to root for you. And frankly, I am happy for her generally that she's cleared. That's great for her, right? But even with all these things kind of being there, I'm finding myself seeing her, and I'm finding her kind of unlikable, and I'm trying to understand why. I know I'm genuinely finding her just kind of unlikable, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. And before I even drop a soliloquy, I just want to know if you guys feel the same way, and if you have your reasons why you see it that way.
I think with Paige's thing, it's Paige, Saraya's thing. I think your thing from our conversation that we've had, you tweaked, etc., etc., etc. She's kind of running around like she's Pac, and she's But I would just think it's one of those things. It's every wrestler's got a bit of an ego and stuff, and it's she puts herself over. Maybe she shouldn't have big leagued Britt Baker last night.
Yeah.
We was talking about it earlier. Hangman, she was kind of in a weird position, and I'm sure she had whatever she had. Well, obviously we're talking about it now. So, with Britt Baker, she's meant to be the heel in. She's meant to be the heel in the situation in that face-to-face yesterday. And when she comes out and starts a promo and putting herself over as the AEW flag waver, and we ain't rolling over for the outsiders, and kind of going that angle, you're baby facing yourself to the AEW audience, which then puts the actual baby face, who's supposed to be Saraya in the situation, in a weird situation. And I'm not excusing her for big league in Britt, but it's just Britt does this a lot. She's done it with Ruby, and she's done it with others in the past, and it's she'll tear down the baby face by also I'm sure she don't do it completely intentionally, but she'll do it by baby facing herself. Like I said, it's her as a heel in that situation yesterday should not be going there as I'm waving the flag for AEW, I'm doing this, doing that, and it's, I don't know, put babyface in any situation, put any babyface bit weird in that situation, to be honest. So I don't know.
There's been a lot of really good feedback in the comments here. Yuzora Hart said, Saraya comes off like she's arrived to save a product that doesn't need saving. She's approached AEW like it's TNA. Someone said
the women's division did get like heavy criticism.
It's weird though. It did, and it absolutely needed work, right? But I feel like there's something about this woman coming in the way she did. Kind of, it was condescending. It felt like Stephanie McMahon walking in or something, kind of going like, "Well, guys, now I'm declaring because I said so that now AEW has a women's revolution. So you're welcome. Saraya's here," and it was just kind of like it was so like kind of awkward and forced and unnatural. And what I do want to make it clear when it comes to like her promo yesterday is that I didn't like the content of a lot of what she said, but what I will say is that her delivery was like passionate and fiery, and if nothing else, even though I think the dynamics are off because of what they're trying to tell as a story, I will say that there is now heat between the two, like wrestling heat.
Yeah, to where it's like sold the match. Absolutely sold the match, regardless of like the little holes and like critiques that we might have for it. I actually liked the segment. I thought it was a win. You know, even though, like I said, it had like little things that I can critique. Now that we're doing like a review about it, we have to talk about it. But like in the moment, I was popping through it, putting England, putting UK flags on the timeline and shit. I was here for it, man.
Yeah, look, she was real passionate. They got real heat there. I think it's just the thing that I couldn't help but focus on is just the fact that like I could just see where the trend was going in terms of what the fans are going to end up like siding with. You know, it just felt like tone deaf from a content standpoint, and I can bet you guys money on this. I'm going to be there in Newark, New Jersey, right, for Full Gear. John Moxley is going to get booed at the show because they're going to cheer for MJF. And Britt Baker is going to get cheered over Paige. And it's just one of those trends that you just have to really kind of keep a keen eye for and pay attention to. And when Saraya kind of did the whole like you don't know how to be a superstar, I wrestled in Madison Square Garden type of stuff, the messaging is essentially like, well, I was in WWE and you weren't, so like I know what it takes to this and that. And like it's just so like it was just so jarring and hard to kind of buy from her because if I'm not mistaken, she's younger than Britt Baker, number one. Like she's literally younger than her by like a year.
Bro.
I just Monty, when a wrestler talks like that to another wrestler,
Saraya's like put like mad years into this shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's no like.
Yes,
like you dropped a tweet yesterday saying Britt's done more than Saraya in wrestling.
Yes,
that's just lies, bro.
I hate that I have
wrong. Like, that's objectively wrong.
No, you know what? We'll get into it right now because here's the thing. I hate that I have to now defend Britt Baker. Like, this is fucking nasty. She's a good wrestler.
She's a big star. And like, there's nothing embarrassing about defending Britt Baker.
Anna, sweetheart, I am sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm
so sorry. But I had to defend Britt Baker here. This is bullshit, Monty. This is fucking bullshit. Paige was surpassed in her own promotion by numerous women's wrestlers a fucking year into her like main roster career.
So like, what, bro?
So what?
Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. You think they ain't flying past Britt Baker as well, bro? Like, what are we doing? Like, you're forcing this tape, bro, digging your heels in.
No, I'm not forcing. Think about this, Monty. You're correct. Those four horsewomen fly past Britt, right? If Sasha Banks walked into AEW and had the exact same promo, it would be just as problematic. But you know what I'd say? I respect it, and it's true. I think what's my problem is it's not even the fact that she's big leaguing them, because frankly, CM Punk big leagued Hangman Page. But guess what? CM Punk has the right to big league Hangman Page, even if you don't like it, because he's CM fucking Punk. I think my big disconnect is that Paige is talking like she's Manami Toyota or she's Sasha Banks.
Bro, regardless of whether you think she's like whether you think it's warranted or she deserves it like a CM Punk or Sasha Banks, that doesn't change the fact that Britt Baker has not done more than Paige in wrestling. Like, that's just factually wrong statement, bro. Like, it just is. Like,
take away fighting with my family. What has Paige done?
Because she's the youngest women's champion in WWE history. She won the world title on the first night on the show. She was part of the women's revolution that Stephanie pushed through with some of the names we've already mentioned. That's already more than fucking Britt Baker's ever done. That was like first year in the fucking main roster, bro. Like,
this is
what
this
are we
bullshit,
doing? She was also what is it? I'm sure she's like she was like one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champions, and
fucking
come on, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Parker, help me here.
What's the argument?
Okay. So Parker, did you watch any of Dynamite?
No, I don't watch wrestling.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. First of all, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. This is P of Dumb Guy Live. P, how's it going?
Yeah, follow this account. This one right here. Follow that.
Hold on.
Yeah. I'm doing great.
The overlays covering.
We were arguing about Paige versus.
I'm going to recap it to you. I'm going to recap it to you right now, right?
Okay. All right.
Saraya and Britt Baker had a promo segment, right? And some people applauded it because it was the first time they head-to-head kind of had like a really heated talking segment where they took jabs and shit at each other. But I just thought the content of it was really problematic and grating because Saraya, she kind of just said like she dismissed all of Britt Baker's accomplishments in pro wrestling, and she just kind of said like, you call this like your company. And there's Alexia. Look at that, back to back.
Hey, we've matched. I've got Young Bucks and she's got.
How's it going?
We didn't plan this.
Hi guys.
What's up?
Nothing much. I just got home.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So here's little Parker. She kind of was just like, look, man, I've been around the world. I wrestled. She literally said I wrestled at Madison Square Garden and the Tokyo Dome. I've been in this business for 17 years. You don't even know how to be a superstar, is what she said to her to Britt Baker. So you don't even know how to be a superstar. She said like, this is my house. What else did she fucking say, Monty? She just kind of
big league, bro. She
basically big leagued her and essentially was kind of like, I was in WWE and like I'm like a superstar and like you haven't done shit and like
she was that's like grinded on Britt Rest. Well, she didn't say Britt Rest.
Is she supposed to be a heel?
No, she's a babyface, and she said this. And Paige, and Britt, mind you, Parker, Britt Baker's promo was essentially like, look, I was one of the pillars that helped, build the women's division of this company, and I helped build AEW to where people from your background wanted to now come to this promotion, and I'm very proud of that. And when she was cutting that promo, the crowd was like cheering her, and
it's all backwards, bro.
It's really weird. And when Paige was talking, Parker, like the only things that she got cheered for was her talking about overcoming like her struggles in her life and like her addiction and things like that, right? When she started getting on that, like, well, you're not even a real superstar, and I am, and I wrestled in like the Garden and shit and stuff like that. Like you could audibly hear some groans, and the segment ended in Paige hitting Britt with a move, and then you just heard like groans, and so I immediately let me in.
Thanks, Parker.
I immediately remarked on Twitter, Parker. I was like, bro, she's gonna get booed at Full Gear. Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, it seems like a very clear like heel babyface dynamic, but like wrong, like opposite.
It's weird.
So what you came into, Parker, was me getting heated at Hangman because
Britt. You were like this. You like Britt's not. You are Saraya right now.
Bro, it's Parker. It's bullshit. No, because
basically, I agree with everything that was just said. I agree with everything that was just said about the segment. But it's all, when Hangman started firing off takes saying that Britt Baker has done more in wrestling than Paige / Saraya, then that's where I've got to draw the line, like, bro. You can't
what has Paige done, bro?
Like, I've just told you.
I'm not trying to. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Matthew. I'm not trying to dismiss her career because there are external factors that have cut off what she could have been in pro wrestling, right? She's had numerous injuries and life struggles that kind of left her career incomplete. I think everybody realizes that. And so, we all keep that in mind, right? But because of that, when she comes back here, I don't see it as like this returning great legend in the industry that's just adding to her legacy like a CM Punk, for example. I see her as somebody with literally a career that barely really got going on a main stage that she's now trying to further in AEW. And so when she talks as if she's like this fucking like legend that's going to show Britt the ropes, it's just really weird and condescending and awkward. I'm like, bro, you're not Sasha Banks. You're not.
She's not Sasha Banks, but like,
no,
at the same time,
not even close.
She's
not
still,
even close,
bro. She's still someone that Tony Khan wanted to sign after 5 years of being out. Like, you're making out like she's literally like fucking. Say, for example, if Tiffany Stratton got injured now, like someone who was literally just got started going, like she's a multi-time world champion. She gets credited with like kicking down the door for the women's revolution, regardless of whether she was surpassed very quickly because of how great the talent was around. She still gets credited with like a lot of that, and like she's kind of undeniably a part of like that whole shifting group of talent. Like she was in there, like she was a big part of it as well. And like I said, multi-time women's world champion, like fucking youngest women's world champion, won it on the first night on Raw. Like you don't. It doesn't matter if she's not Sasha Banks. I'm not saying she is, but she's still fucking like she's a significant, like, you know.
I would say
significant. Otherwise, she wouldn't be here right now.
Go ahead, P.
Yeah, I don't know, Monty. I don't know if I agree with you on this one. I feel like I don't know.
It's bullshit, bro.
She did like she didn't have the like best chance to have like a super long career and all that. Like, but like just like for example, she was champion on the main roster for like 3 months total. She wrestled one WrestleMania match. She had one WrestleMania match ever. Like, and you just then like I don't remember like any like important Paige matches. Like I guess there was an AJ match I want to say that was like pretty good, but
it was like her first match.
She hasn't
got like a deep match. She hasn't got
like a
good match catalog or anything like that.
was like kind of big, but like I don't know. I just don't see it. I'm trying to think of who I would compare this to. It would be like if Wardlow retired today due to a neck injury, and then he came back 5 years later and was like telling
Big
Dante Martin that
he was like the star and he hasn't done anything significant though.
I'm not sure about that. Like, like Saraya has the movie. I guess
that's what I'm saying. All she has is the movie. Bro.
Did you know that she knows the movie?
One sec.
We're talking
It has
circles.
Florence Pugh in it. So.
No, this is bullshit. Wait. I want to just.
What does that number say right there, bro?
Bro, every WWE wrestler 2.7.
No, they don't.
Like a million Twitter posts. They do.
2.7. No, but we're talking like she's not a big star, bro.
Look up like Damien Sandow. I bet he has
undeniably
followers.
Oh
no,
he doesn't. What's his name? Aaron Stevens. Aaron. Aaron Stevens has 500,000 Twitter followers. Nothing like they don't. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't.
Of course, it does.
All right, look.
Social media presence don't mean anything for someone. Someone's name value.
She is somebody in this business, right? You know, but I just think, Monty, there's a huge disconnect with what she's actually done versus how she's talking about what she's done in relation to Britt. You know, first of all, and Britt Baker is somebody that we've all like. She's much maligned from us and all other people when it comes to like her output, right? And yet her catalog like blows the pages out of the water. You know, and that's just talking about matches. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not even talking about like money drawn things and that, bro. When has Paige had a TV episode built around her the way Britt did with the Britsburg Rampage? You know what I'm saying? Like there were shows structured around Britt Baker and her stardom. You know?
Yeah, I think within the wrestling scene, like Britt Baker easily has a better resume in terms of like
dog
performance.
Walks
Yeah. Just in terms of like, and just in terms of my own like estimation of their skills and abilities and everything, but also like you just go to an arena. I don't know. Aside from if you took out like big surprises, because obviously like those always get pops from people. Like I think Britt Baker just on a night-to-night basis is exponentially more popular and over than Paige ever was.
The last thing I'll say to King of the North, because this is a good chance to clarify this. King of the North in the comments earlier, he said, brother, they're feuding on TV. Of course they're going to be condescending. What are we doing here? Well, here's the thing. When it comes to promos, there isn't like. Do you realize why that's like ridiculous, right? Like, there is an art to like building your match, and you know, running down your opponent if you have to, while also like not like fucking up the character dynamics or like burying somebody or like on a broader level subliminally giving off the wrong messaging. You know, you can build a program without subliminally saying that AEW is secondary to WWE. You can build a program while also being the babyface in the story and the heel being the heel. You know, later on in the show, John Moxley got a promo about MJF where he absolutely acknowledged how how good he is, while also kind of saying like he's gonna kick the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And Max did the same thing, vice versa, in his promo, where he kind of was just like, "Yo, like John Moxley is physically like just inept and this and that and athletically, but he ended up being the best wrestler in the world because he holds the AEW championship. But I was born for this business and yada yada yada, and that's why I'm going to be beating him. There's a way to do this, right? So this argument, like, no, they can be condescending. Those are the worst types of promos. What do they accomplish when you're just in there, just kind of like jerking your own dick off and like just basically saying the guy in front of you isn't shit? Well, if they're not shit, then I don't want to watch this fucking match. Why do I want to watch something if you're fighting somebody that is meaningless and worthless? Then you're not selling me. You're just getting yourself over.
Yeah. I don't buy it. I'd have to see it. I don't want to comment too much without having seen it, obviously. But
messaging sucked.
It seems like
I'm angry now.
The like performance was good, from what I'm hearing. That like both women did like a good job.
Yes.
Talking and all that.
Yeah, they sold the match absolutely.
But the content was maybe questionable for some people. Some people thought it was really good. Some people thought it was like dog shit, like you're saying. So
I think it was good but questionable, which is
I think
like
my main issue with it was just that she hasn't done anything to prove what she was saying yet in AEW. Like, I don't think she should have cut that sort of promo before she had her first match. But that's my only problem.
She shouldn't be walking around like back up promos, like walking around like she's Sasha Banks, and I can't 100% get that vibe. Like earlier when we was talking about
nobody's talking about her in some sort of incredible, beyond just like talking about the controversy or
like coming in
interesting parts of the promo. Like it's not it's not like, oh my god, what a signing, like Moxley or like Sting or someone like that. It's not even that in that strategy.
Yeah, like say like someone to come in and say the division shouldn't be like someone south assigning themselves that role, and it comes off really like it comes off a certain way.
Mm-hmm. What did you think, Alexia?
She just thinks that she's just
she got her little glasses on. What did you think of that whole segment and the messaging and just everything about it? Were you sold on the matchup? Like, how did you feel watching it?
It was okay. I mean, I just, like Charlie said, like, I don't think she should have like cut that kind of promo, like, before she actually got to like showcase how she looks like after being gone like for a few years or so. So it's like,
it was just a whole lot of words.
Remember when she debuted and was like, there was 3 matches on the show tonight, and it was like, okay, like, you
mean 3 women's matches?
This comment from the custodian BPJ is like killing me right now.
What do you say? Throw it up, Monster.
I'll find it.
I feel like I'm being punished because my peers aren't as good as me on the mic or in the ring, just like Britt Baker is.
Do you guys remember Brian's like promos last year?
When he would start screaming.
He's not that bad. He's okay.
I think that's what makes it funny.
Yeah. Honestly, it'd be way worse if he was just like a shitter, because then it'd be like, but now he's like okay sometimes. And it's like, okay, bro.
It makes you kind of Park. In basketball they always say like you'd rather be like really good or really bad. You don't want to be mediocre and in the middle of the standing.
Yeah, you don't want to be Jordan Clarkson right now.
Yeah, and with Brian, like he's all right when he cuts promos. Like he does that thing where like in the middle of the promo he starts yelling really loud.
He tries real hard.
Yeah, and like that works when like the crowd fires up with you. But when he's just kind of like, Aleister Black, I want you now, and his voice squeaks, and the fans are just kind of sitting there like, all right, like it's just kind of like, oh man.
Yeah, that's always weird when there's like that weird disconnect there where it's like a really fired up, passionate like promo, and the crowd's just like don't give a shit. But literally, just fly through some super chat. Could do a
sure. Let's go through.
Dear Loki, should AEW start sending young talent, accepting other talent on excursions for 2023? This might be good for Sammy, Tay, and Anna Jay to go to Japan or Mexico for 3 months.
Wait, can I take this one real quick?
Please.
This is like, and I know you donated $10, so I'll be like kind about it. But this is like a big pet peeve of mine when people are just like, just go send people to Japan for 3 months or to Mexico for 3 months. Like it's like, like it's not like a huge life-changing thing that you have to do for a long time. So like do it if people are committed to it, and if you can also commit to not needing that talent for 3 months, and if the talent is genuinely like going to treat it with like the care that it deserves and everything. Because if it's not, like, that can fuck up relationships and stuff like that. Like that's why TNA and New Japan stopped working together for literally over a decade. So yeah, I would say like if you think it's going to be valuable, but like they kind of do this anyway. Like Lance Archer goes to Japan every few months. Like Lance Archer did the G1. They like people in like Kazarian's in Impact, and people like Brian Cage wrestles in Mexico all the time. Like I don't understand like the idea of an excursion unless you think somebody is like bad. And I don't think there's like that many people on the roster that are actively bad. And I don't really get the idea that they need to be that it would be like materially better for these people in Japan or Mexico unless you specifically wanted to learn that style. So I would say like no for sending people, but accepting is a different story. Like if you like, but make sure they're really, really good. Like accept Takeshita, people like him. Don't accept some rando who's like just because they're Japanese, because that's like I mean that's what Twitter wants, and that's like not gonna work. I don't think.
Would you agree though, Parker, that we take away the logistic aspect of it, because I do think sometimes fans they kind of throw these things around as if like without like considering like that stuff about like people's like lives and uprooting their like living situations and things like that. But let's just say like devil's advocate that like everybody's on board with doing this. You don't think it would help certain wrestlers when it comes to maybe their style is a bit underdeveloped or unrefined, and they don't get a lot of TV time on AEW programming, and they don't really take a lot of indie bookings, and you don't think for those types of guys that like working with really high level talents and overseas promotions that like that wouldn't make them materially better? Like you don't think Dante Martin, for example, right? You don't think Dante Martin doing a year in AAA would make him better?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would, make them better. Well, AAA is weird because they don't really have like a house like roster, so to speak.
Sure,
everybody on the roster, but so it would, like Mexico's weird. Like you would, because you can't do CMLL. You essentially have to like send them to work in indies like Dragon Gate does. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'd be useful for a lot of people. It's just just like the whole logistics of it. Like I think the whole like excursion system even in Japan is like massively overrated and like overblown. Like I
ain't even reading that Scarecrow comment.
Oh, I know read
it's
that.
really bad. It like
anyway,
really
let me check.
No,
let me see what Scarecrow said.
I'm not reading it. Don't read it either.
I love Scarecrow. Scarecrow's short king.
Peach said Anna Jane Japan is nuts. That was really funny.
Yeah, but so I mean, like, and also like, you have to make sure that promotion like wants to take them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just makes like if they're not good enough to wrestle on AEW TV, then they're probably not good enough to wrestle like in Japan or wherever you want them to go. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. I feel like people get their hopes up about it because somebody like Private Party or somebody like I don't know who else like falls under this banner, but a lot of the young guys, right? A lot of the newer people, like it would be really cool to see them get more time, especially like the originals or people who are close to original, who don't get as much TV time. I think it would be cool, but I just think people, and also like people who say they're gonna watch that shit are such fucking liars. Like maybe 2% of AEW's viewership will ever see any of these people in a match outside of AEW. All right. So the idea that they're like, if you genuinely think it means a lot for them to improve, but like the places where it can go wrong and how it can harm relationships and how it can mess people up and how you have to uproot people's lives and you have to account for payment and you have to do all this type of stuff. Like, I don't know if that is worth the sort of abstract improvements. Also, like, if you trust your trainers, like you should trust your like the systems you have in place to improve people too.
I don't know, Parker. I for one would love to see Brock Anderson in Noah. Thank you very much, sir. I want to see.
Anyway, Bam $2.
Yeah, let's move
Monty,
on.
please make the Wrestle Purist Diva Division EVPs. If I'm ever on holiday, we'll have to go away on medical issues, then I'll put the girls in charge.
I'm literally the default executive of this.
No, you're not.
No,
You're not.
Anyway, Showtown Spurs $10. I thought Saraya was going to finally be the person to bring up that Brit is in her position on the backs of more talented wrestlers. She alluded to it, but didn't really spell it out. It was. She kind of kicked the shit out.
I just don't think people will buy that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the average AEW fan thinks that. Like it's kind of an online thing now to think that Britt Baker's like really, really bad. I think the average AEW fan thinks that Britt Baker's the best wrestler in the company in terms of women.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. Like they'd be like, what? It'd be like saying like John Moxley, you're not as good as Kenny Omega or Hangman Page in ring.
Burger. An actual line in the promo was Paige said, we all know you only in your position right now because Tony Khan decided it. And it was like, ooh, and I was just like, what?
Wrestling's so fucking.
No, she said she was like Tony Khan. She was like Tony Khan's friend, and just fed you a bunch of QT trainees or something.
Yeah. She said you were fed. She
okay, so at least there's kayfabe. All right.
I guess, that's
kayfabe, but it's also like stupid. Like Britt has beaten Sheeta, and Nyla and Conti and Statlander and and Thunder Rosa and all these people.
She had like a year-long reign or some shit, so But more super chats. One sec, bear with me. Oh, we got a Parker one.
By the way,
it's that dumb guy fella, Jamie Ross, £10.
Yeah.
Hi,
Jamie. Purist head writer. Also another dumb guy on the Tuesday podcast.
Jamie's a good kid.
He's a good kid.
I'm getting Jamie to come out of his shell on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, we need it. We need that. We need that scout. We need the Scouts boy out
here. I was analyzing the Dumb Guy Live. By the way, I feel like Dumb Guy Live needs an S. I feel like it should be Dumb Guys Live. It's just me. I don't know. I was listening to it. Right. Great show, by the way. And you can tell that P is a teacher. I don't know if it's just me.
What do you mean?
you feel like a fucking counselor on that shit. Like you got these kids in for like a roundtable discussion to go over their essay and maybe like what they could do to have better sentence structure on their paragraphs and shit. You're just kind of like, all right, guys, there's a lot of good stuff here, a lot of good stuff going on. Let's talk about New Japan, guys. Murph, let me see your paper real quick. And I'm just like, this is hilarious. And they're both the young ones in the group. So it literally feels like a fucking counselor or like a TA or some shit, just like getting the kids in to like talk about their essay.
It's good content.
I love these dudes. I talk to teenagers all day, and then I come home, and then I talk to teenagers more. It's really cool.
That's what you're saying, man.
It's what most 26-year-olds do.
Yeah.
Hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah. Don't go live. Puro, Joshy, everything.
Yeah, we do a show every Tuesday. You need to listen to that shit if you're watching this.
Yeah, 124 live viewers. Guys, if you have not checked that show out, you're missing out on some good stuff. If you want Wrestle Purists, but like with just white people, like that's the show for you. You know what I mean?
Bro, that is really not going to sell the show. That's going to
make Wrestle Purists with no niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I call it too. That's what I
Wrestle Purists with no niggas, right? That's on P's like sheet that he puts, like he has a run sheet of like what he's gonna do on the show, right? It's on the clipboard, and like there's like bullet points and stuff, and the header is just, he writes like Wrestle Pierce with no niggas, and then draws like a fire emoji like right next to it.
Yeah, and then the eyes emoji, like all surprised, and then 2 exclamation points.
And 2 exclamation points. Yeah. And then Murph puts his signature over it.
AJ 61988. That's really mean.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Jesus.
So cool.
Why is there a Mr. Parker 456? What is this? Why does
Mr. Parker's
face
legit,
account
man.
love it? What is happening?
Mr. Parker's legit. He's legit. He's just another Parker.
I'm gonna get doxxed or some shit.
Right. Chris 199. Name a notable Paige match that was actually good.
None.
There was like
Parker mentioned something with AJ. I think it was a triple threat. I believe there was a Survivor Series match with Charlotte, which people liked. The NXT Emma matches still to this day get a lot of praise, even though I've only seen one of them.
Why?
But yeah, like, she don't have like a Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa bloodbath. Okay. Like, she don't have anything like that.
So this summer, I was listening to old Brian and Vinny, and they were talking. It was like from 2014, and they were talking about main roster women, and they were like, the best. They were talking about this like it was just a foregone conclusion. They were like, oh, the best women's wrestler on the roster is Natalya, and it's like without even a question. And I was like. Yeah, things were a lot different. Monty, I know, but like,
listen, she's a veteran, brother. Yeah,
it was so much different.
She knows what she's doing in there.
Around.
Yeah, I'm on an article.
Speaking of Natty, she's gonna be out for a few months. You know, I know everybody's heartbroken and devastated.
That's unfortunate. What's going on? What's going on with Natty?
They've done like the nose, broken nose angle.
Yeah, didn't Shayna Baszler bloody her like last week?
Yeah, like she hit her with a knee. Like they had a match and she beat her, and like Ronda Rousey like got in Shayna's ear and was like, "Oh, hit her again." And yeah, she hit her with a knee, and then they done the whole like, you know, there was blood. I don't know if she accidentally caught her or if they actually like let her do fake blood or something, but there was blood. And
Meltzer said it was a blood pack.
Yeah, so there is actually, you know how people were saying like there'll be no fake blood, there'll be nothing on like WWE under Triple H. I remember that report coming out not that long ago. That was obviously, you know, obviously there'll always be exceptions. There should be. Cody Rhodes is going to bleed in WWE. Like that is a thing that will happen.
He's going to get it through.
He almost nearly did on his first night, bro. He just let Seth just kick and clean in the head like fucking 5 times with those kicks.
I was convinced he was going to bleed in the Hell in a Cell match, but he ended up not doing that.
He didn't need to be honest. You know, in hindsight, you know.
Yeah, he was really.
He was bleeding internally. Like.
I guess while Fed is being talked about, I'll drop a hanger select for the public. So for those who watch NXT, which is probably not a lot of you, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels. It was announced that Shawn Michaels has an announcement next week, and NXT has a special called Deadline coming up on Peacock in December. And when they did the teaser for Deadline, it just listed a bunch of NXT wrestlers' names like in rapid succession. And then there was like a clock ticking on their names. And it just said Deadline. And then they said next week that Shawn has an announcement. I don't know what the announcement is going to be at all. I have no clue. But NXT call-ups are imminent. Cameron Grimes is going to be called up to the main roster. The other one that I can tell you guys about that was like an exclusive to me was that there's been discussions for Rey Mysterio having a trio.
You know,
so, I mean, I am, you know, but no, there's discussions of Rey Mysterio having a babyface trio to work with when he's in trios matches with other people because we obviously have the Brawling Brutes.
It's always
why does this account love me so much? I don't understand.
It's Parker and AO, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah. Parker, you silly goose, you. Nice to see you, mate. That profile picture is nasty.
Goose, you. Nice to see you here, mate. Love it. Love you, Regal. Regal on the phone.
Oh my god, this accent.
It's crazy, right?
It's great.
Perfect. Thank you so
but yes, the hanger select is this. Look, they got Legato, they got the Brutes trio, they have Imperium. They want Rey with 2 other baby faces to do 6-mans with. And I was told that it's going to be Ricochet as one of them, right? And the other one, it's so I was told it's come down to Axiom and Nathan Frazier. I didn't hear Wesley's name.
Is that what the best of 3 was about? To determine who deserves it?
Yeah, low-key, that might have just been like, let's see who's really a hooper here. Like, just go ahead and wrestle. Let's just like
they're both really good. I love
they are.
Yeah. Biggest hooper goes to SmackDown. Like, go fucking wrestle. Dragunov's getting called up.
Dude, do they not realize that Axiom is like hot? Like he's such a handsome
guy. Kid? I'm gonna look him up.
I've never even heard of this.
Have you never seen?
Oh,
have you?
Look up
A Kid?
Don't look up a kid, but like look up A Kid.
Yeah, I see him right now.
Axiom?
Man, this
if you search Axiom, you're just gonna see him with the mask.
Yes, he's a masked wrestler.
Axiom unmasked?
No, just type in A
I guess
Kid.
you could do that.
Just type in A Kid.
We've lost the plot here.
He's a small Latino man who wrestles in NXT. He's a really good wrestler.
He's Spanish. That's different than.
Oh yeah. No. He's literally like Spanish. Yeah, he's from Spain. Yeah.
He's from Spain.
Watch the Dumb Guys live Tuesday nights at 7:30 on Wrestle Purist.
Thank you, Murph.
Thank you, Murph. We love you, kid.
Make sure you run up.
Yeah. So yeah, listen. It's come down to Frazier and A-Kid. I can't see your phone.
Yeah, that's him.
Yes.
Sure.
Alexia, what's the rating?
Smash or pass?
Oh my god!
Smash or pass?
Really?
Pass?
I feel like when you watch him, wrestle, you're gonna change your mind.
Bro, I'm a straight man, and it's
Oh,
like I think about it for a second.
I see all the bitch and Hangman was doing on the timeline. I know he was just fucking nonsense. You fucking wrong. Shut the fuck up. Like, yo, real fast. The man was in the chat for fucking Hangman.
Look at these. My fucking god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Tomatoes at this nigga.
No, my god. This
CM
chat is
Punk
nasty.
199. All of Monty and back of Hangman.
Hold on. Watch. I'm about to show you how to pop a rating. Hold on.
There you see him, Buck.
We appreciate it.
This fucker's gonna tweet the link and it's gonna go up by like 30 people.
I'm gonna teach you how to pop a fucking rating.
Yes, sir. I need to keep digging through these super chats, man. So
yeah. Dragunov up, Frazier or A-Kid up, Grimes up. God, who else?
I never heard of any of these motherfuckers.
And SmackDown World Cup, 8 competitors. Winner faces Gunther at the Royal Rumble for the Intercontinental Championship. Nakamura is in it. Santos Escobar's in it. Rey Mysterio's in it. Ricochet's in it. I don't have the other names confirmed, but I think LA Knight is also in it. So there you
go. Shoretown Spurs $5. If you take a shot every time back up, say CM Punk, you'd be dead before the end of the first hour.
Yeah, it's true. It's not true.
Fair.
This is true.
Someone should try that one day. You know.
We'll
give you a Wrestle Purist train.
You know what Hangman should do? Every time that he says CM Punk, he should just take he just snort a line of fentanyl. You feel me? Just keep doing that, Hangman.
Yeah, just every time. Just every time.
That is crazy, bro. When you gotta come on here and fucking
someone called me backup Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Fuck
you. Fuck you.
Yo, far 5222. Appreciate your super chats, bro.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, man.
Paige versus Emery in 2013 is what woke up Fed fans to women's wrestling. I'll give back to Saraya though.
I'll take your word for it.
It was even like I was saying that, even though she got surpassed, she was kind of like the poster child of the woman that broke down the door. This sort of thing.
How long was Paige on the top of the division?
About 3 months.
A year?
Yeah, not that long because
For real?
For real.
She was in the mix for a while, but in terms of being her, obviously the 4 horsewomen came along, and so it's like.
So how long was she a main eventer upper mid card in WWE?
She never really dropped to
a lower level.
Nobody, she was always Paige because the injury issues and that she'd go and she'd come back and
get title shots and shit like that.
She was always a player, but like I said, she was never her until after the first few months because horsewomen, man, Charlotte, Sasha,
and
not even Becky at the time, mainly Charlotte and Sasha, but.
Hey, we'll save it for when we actually get up to it again because we got our thoughts on it, but I want to hear yours later. But I know you're gonna have my perspective on that promo she was cutting on Britt Baker.
First of all, it's EVPAO to you, little boy. Second of all, you don't know what I think about that.
Still, Monty, mute this motherfucker.
As an enjoyer of women's wrestling and women's wrestling content and promo segments,
he subscribes to Club Ice Ribbon.
I'm gonna work on that, Parker. But Elon got my last $8. So
bullshit.
The fuck was you talking about? Oh, the promo segment? We don't get that during the Dynamite review.
Right.
No, we've already like reviewed it because it was the first thing we did because we spoke about the Elite and we was like, should we talk about Saraya? And we went into it. And me and Backup Hangman argued about Saraya and Britt Baker. And then, but Ayo,
I think it was
touch, you know.
I think it was just a promo segment. Britt Baker was great in it. Paige Saraya was just she was passable, and it was fine. I don't understand why there's paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of discourse on the timeline. Paige put Britt Baker down to like prop herself up, but like Britt Baker's she's a heel, bro. Like, what do you want her to do? Suck her pussy in the middle of the ring? She's a heel. Like,
that'd be a great episode of Dynamite. But here's the thing, it's the messaging, AO. She's saying that AEW is secondary. That's what she's doing. She's dismissing what if Britt Baker has reached the pinnacle of her division in her company, right? The women's division in AEW. She's reached the pinnacle of it. She's beaten everybody there is to beat, and she's won the titles. She's had shows dedicated to her and stuff. She's main evented Dynamites, had the Pittsburgh show. And if Saraya's walking in basically saying like that didn't mean shit, and you don't even know what it means to be a true superstar, and she's saying things like you face QT students and I've been in Madison Square Garden and this and that. You're basically essentially saying that like your career is secondary to mine because I wrestled in WWE. And I see it as fuck you, bitch. I'm her. I'm Paige. Like I don't think it's a WWE versus AEW thing. Pause right there.
Paige. Like
pause right there.
I'm her, nigga.
Like, so pause right there. How are you her? I think that's the bigger issue for me. How are you her? What have you done to really be her? I don't
know because I've never seen Paige wrestle before, bro. I was not watching WWE in the Fed, so I don't know.
Right.
But the way people talk about her and shit is that like she was her at a point. So that's the way people talk about it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This is Jordan Clarkson talking like he's Kobe, bro. Like it's crazy to me, son. Like it's just
Paige is Jordan Clarkson and has all these things,
bro. AO, it's crazy, bro. Like
I mean, I don't see how that's possible. Like I said, I've never seen Paige wrestle, so I'm not gonna go back.
I don't see how that's possible.
My first Paige match I ever see is gonna be Full Gear. I'm hoping for the best. I thought it was a good segment. I don't understand all the discourse and shit, but
Kyle in the chat, Kyle1335, he makes asks a good question. He says, "Ask Backup Hangman to explain how that's different than Punk saying Hangman has done nothing in the business." It's the same thing, right? You have an echo.
I'm trusting you to pick up the thing that you could just like waffle about, bro. Like,
no, I'm not gonna waffle.
But it's something you already answered earlier on. Like we get it. Like she's not CM Punk, she's not Sasha Banks. Like, and that is the difference. Like Cole, if he wasn't here earlier, like that's the difference. Like, is that?
So besides Sasha Banks, besides the Horsewoman, right? Who would you feel like is allowed to cut that promo?
Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley?
You think Rhea Ripley would be allowed to walk into AEW and cut that promo?
Actually, no.
Rhea? What's Rhea done?
What's Rhea?
But that begs the question though. Not that much in the grand scheme of things, right? But it's comparable to what Saraya has done. That's my point.
This is the thing as well. I feel like we're because we're like, we're not proper like doing a deep dive analysing it. It's like the perception of Paige is that she's this influential, regardless of whether we think she's great and whether I think she's better than what Backup Hangman does or whether what I mean. The general consensus and perception of Paige is that she was like this really influential, tide shifting women's star that woke up Fed fans. You know what I mean? Like, that is the perception of Paige.
As a nigga who wasn't watching WWE or wrestling at all at the time, right? When this was going on, because I quit wrestling at the time. That's like coming back into like the internet wrestling community and like watching wrestling again and seeing how people talk about Paige. That's exactly how they talk about Paige. What Monty just said. Like people don't like staying Twitter that like hates her or whatever. Like somebody else's staying accounts will like diminish her accomplishments, but like normal people who like wrestling usually share the opinion that Monty just shared about her. So that's why I don't have an issue with her cutting that promo, because that's how people have been talking about her the last 7 years I've been a wrestling fan again.
All I'm gonna say to end this AO is I think if I was in your spot where I never really seen her, and I'm just going off what people say, it actually functions way better than actually having seen her. I think the fact that I've seen her is a detriment to how I perceived what she was saying because I like know reality, if that makes any sense. Versus how she was propping herself. I mean, it is what it is.
You hate women, bro.
It's you know when 50s basketball players, you know when like 50s 60s basketball players talk about like how they could fucking like you know cook Stephen Curry or some shit, and then you like watch the footage, you know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing, bro.
Nah, Steph Curry fucking stinks.
But more super chats. Mad King, Okada and TNA, the worst use of foreign talent. I'm sure there's been much worse. Okada wasn't even like Okada then, you know. He was just like.
I mean,
but no one at that point even.
It's pretty bad though.
Relationship it's the worst one because it fucked up the relationship for a decade between New Japan and Impact. I think it's the worst one.
It's pretty bad.
Did New Japan care more about what they did to Okada or them switching around the IWGP belts without tag title belts without their permission?
It might have been the belts thing, to be honest.
I'm sure it was a combination, but
yeah, they did a lot of stupid things.
Yeah, neither helped.
LOL TNA type shit. LOL TNA.
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust Cody presentation on the Triple H regime?
10.
10.
He's gonna be fine. Yeah. He's gonna be fine.
He's gonna be fucking
unfortunately,
I'm so excited for Cody to come back.
Unfortunately, Cody Rhodes is gonna come back and be a big star and get the fucking WWE championship.
I do love Cody Rhodes.
I love Cody Rhodes
and it's I feel so vindicated because when he left AEW, everyone's like, "This guy fucking sucks," and now he's like the biggest star in the company. Aside from
I think the biggest like testament to him, Parker, is the fact that like he came to a WWE that like it was literally Vince's most creatively cooked state of all time, and like
it was so garbage.
And the thing is, nobody was even allowed to get over, let alone get over, besides like Roman and Brock, right? Everybody left and right, they're getting their names changed. People are getting released. Guys are just getting beyond 50-50. Like people are just made to be jobbers and shit like that. And in that state where everything around him is awful, he got treated like fucking like a god. You know what I'm saying? And was having great matches and getting over, and he took over.
Treating him like the next coming of Cena, bro. Like the way he was just kind of like presenting him, like even in like the little promo packages and stuff.
Yes,
like, he was the new like, you know, company guy, babyface. You know, Cody's just. You know, if you're an executive,
they flew him out to Allegiant Stadium in Vegas to fucking film that Money in the Bank commercial.
Do you guys remember he was on the trucks before he got hurt? He was on the trucks for Money in the Bank, the show was built around him. He was gonna win the briefcase. Yeah, it's nasty.
He's just, you know, if you're an executive, like we the people who have followed him for long enough, like we may pop at like his ridiculousness, and people can call him a carny or whatever, you know. But like, if you're an executive and you got code, man. You know, you can do anything. You want to start a TV show, you want to do an advertising campaign, you want to do some charity. You know,
Parker on Raw, they would put a countdown clock for when Cody would show up on the show.
Oh, that was.
I know. I know. They should have. What else are they going to watch? Omos?
The fact that Vince, who like he's by that point he's so picky with like what he thinks is good, right? He hates everything. The fact that he saw
Cody was.
The fact that he saw AEW Cody and was like, "This guy's beast. This guy's beast, bro."
Yeah, he's the only one who knows how to work on this company.
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing him in Mania season, seeing what he's going to do.
That'd be great. I'm excited.
Yeah, Logan Paul. It appears, Monty, that he doesn't actually have a torn ACL.
I don't think he needs surgery because the thing is, it's like with WWE injuries, like if it's a bad one, like you know, like that was feared to be. Those people get surgery like immediately, you know. Like, 2 days after, when I saw a video of him like training and stuff, it was like, well, it can't be that.
No. That's not true. That's not true.
What's up, Ayo?
So everybody knows I played football in college, right? Like people were tearing their ACLs. You would do weeks of rehab before you got surgery because you have to get the swelling. If you tear your ACL, you have to do weeks of rehab to get the swelling out of your knee, or it's gonna be like if they operate on a knee that's like the size of a grapefruit, there's gonna be scar tissue everywhere, and your mobility is gonna be fucked up and all of that. So if you tear your ACL, they're gonna tell you to like squat the bar or like squat 10 pounds and like do like leg movement shit before you go into surgery.
Mm-hmm.
This is never put that up again.
Oh my god. This looks like a Manny Hooper of the Week graphic.
America.
It's America with like fire underneath and
It's fucking seas.
This is so good.
The lettering style of like his name. Look at the font on his name.
This is so good.
These spiky letters, like
they should bring that back. But like it should be like a like a month one,
Yo, that first show.
You know, like what they did for Jericho when he first debuted.
That first show where the Cody countdown didn't pop a rating. Like it popped a rating like the first two or three.
The first 2 or 3
like one time. Fucking Monty, bro.
I had to cut off the Cody slander.
No, I don't think you guys realize how nasty Monty's just gonna be in general with his takes when like Monday Night Raw has like Cody Rhodes back in January and the show is like more Cody.
It sucks, bro, because I like Cody. I can't pretend like I don't like Cody. He's a fucking weirdo, but
he's a maniac.
You see how you man go on with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega? That will be me with Cody Rhodes when he's back and when he's world champion. Bro, that will be me. That is me.
Monty, this is gonna happen. He's gonna have a 3.5-star, well-worked American-style match with Bobby Roode on Raw one week that goes like 17 minutes, and you're just gonna be like shedding tears of joy.
I'm gonna do this kind of as a beat.
Cody Rhodes is a fucking superstar. I can't believe Bobby Roode's been wasted these last 4 years. They're gonna start playing fucking Bobby Roode.
This is what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be half a beat, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a Fred review for every match and segment that he does.
That is so nasty.
And just him as well, like just him.
God, not even no one else, just Cody.
Yeah, just like, even the show, like if he has a 5-minute match on Raw,
show, it's just gonna be him, and all he talks about is the Cody segments.
Monty, you know the old school just American wrestling thing of like you're in the figure four and you're like and then you have your fist out like you're ready to shake to the other direction and the crowd is like in a frenzy and you turn it over and then the pressure's on the heel and he's like and you're fucking Cody's gonna do that shit with Bobby Roode and you're just gonna be pumping your fist in the time.
I'm gonna be tweeting like the selling in all caps.
Cody, he's gonna do the Dusty punch. He's like the boom, 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 and then like the little dance that he does. Like,
I can't wait for him to come. He's actually gonna win the world title as well, and it's gonna be perfect and just wholesome and amazing. And there's gonna be tears and bro. real shit, bro. Who don't love the dad? You know.
I think Monty's gonna cry. I think he's genuinely gonna cry when he beats Roman.
Monty's gonna be watching that shit with a fucking handkerchief.
Bro, Monty's gonna cry when he beats Roman. Like it's
real graps, real wrestling is back.
I think Murph might cry too for different reasons.
They just celebrated Roman's 800 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
When are they?
Yeah, it's crazy.
1,000 days.
1,000 is
20 days from now. When is Mania?
No idea. Oh, but what I wanted to give a hanger select on Logan Paul though. So here's the deal. I don't know what's the actual prognosis. All I can tell you is this: the locker room chatter is that he just tore his meniscus and his MCL. And I can tell you guys this: I tore my meniscus before, and I never got it operated on, and I just kind of naturally worked through it after about like a month, 2 months.
Yeah, well, meniscus isn't a big deal.
And I know this, John Cena, it's reported that he's going to wrestle at WrestleMania this year. I'm sorry, Parker. And a couple people are publicly, Parker's face, he's like, that's bullshit. A couple people are publicly lobbying toward John. Gunther has told the media that he wants him. Logan Paul has publicly put his name out there, and Austin Theory has as well. So
Austin Theory's done it loads, and I think like if it was the Vince regime, like it would
was gonna get them.
Yeah, like 100%. Is
it bad that Logan Paul's the one I want
again?
I don't know. I want Logan Paul versus John Cena to happen.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I want
that'd be great.
John Cena.
Gunther would also be awesome for the reasons that. The reason why Gunther wanted it as well because the reason Gunther wanted the match with Cena as well is like basically he's like the best babyface ever, and I just want to like kick the shit out of him, you know.
His wording was hilarious. He said this is a great sport, and the one title John has not won in this great sport is the Intercontinental Championship. That's how he said it.
Yeah, he said that as well.
Yeah.
Y'all think Gunther's good?
Oh my
God.
Bro.
Y'all just asking a question.
Yes.
Yo, Parker, the craziest one. AO got off on a Discord, and he got unchecked because it's AO, right? He was like, hey, "Y'all like Ray?" I was like,
so Drew, I know, like you guys, Rey Mysterio Jr. is like one of Hangman's favorite wrestlers ever, right? Hangman's takes are so fucking bad, bro. They're so bad, and I love Ray.
It's really
when Hangman pisses me off, I just have to start shitting on Rey Mysterio, bro, and it's all Hangman's fault because it just says the dumbest shit ever. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe Rey Mysterio sucks, nigga. How about
I was like, wait. Oh, Parker, another one that this will pop you. This was so funny. So, Ricochet faced LA Knight last week on SmackDown, right? And AO refuses to watch Gunther Ray because it's good, but he was curious enough to watch Ray.
I said, play that
Ray. He said, do not put Ray Gunther. He's like, don't fucking put that fucking match.
I'm not watching Gunther versus Ray, bro. I saw too many positive reviews from AEW sexuals who's giving it positive reviews. I'm not watching that match. I'll never see it. It never happened to me. LA Knight.
So he goes. So the thing with AO, he'll watch an all right match, right? So he was like, all right, he's like, put Ricochet LA Knight on, right? And so I was like, all right, I'll put that one on. And Ricochet got his shit off, right? And randomly, like a minute into the match, the timing of this was so funny. Chris just goes, yo, Knight is so ass. And I just started fucking dying. He's like, yo, he's so
genuinely
bad.
He's worse than I remember.
He's okay,
I thought he was a better wrestler than he in that match.
He's okay. He's okay. He's okay.
He has a good catchphrase. Yeah.
He's got good punches.
What's his shitty catchphrase? What is that garbage?
That's not an insult. That is a fact of life.
What? Doesn't he say something else? Are we talking about LA Knight?
Yeah, that's his catchphrase.
Doesn't he say something else?
He's talking about Elo.
He says yeah after all his promos.
Yeah. Oh no, here's a third one. He goes, whose game is it? LA Knight's game. he does that one too.
Yeah, I do.
Bro, how are people? He sucks.
I do appreciate pro wrestling ad libs. Like he's a fucking Migos.
Like he's
Parker. No, Parker, you know what killed me, bro? So when the report came on that John's working Mania, Humble Wrestling tagged LA Knight and was like, I emoji.
Yo, that account fucking sucks, bro. Yo, Humble Wrestling, if you watch it, if you support WrestlePure, stop. I fucking hate you. Don't do it no more. Just stop.
It doesn't matter.
Bro.
Super Chat, Mad King, 1984, 199. Bad thing about Cody in WWE
what do you mean?
Is that there's no Jeff Jarrett versus Cody. I mean,
what are you talking about? That'd be so
heartbroken.
Good. That would be awesome.
Double J versus Cody would be fire.
Yeah.
Yo, Monty, no joke. The match I'm most excited for at Full Gear is Jarrett and Lethal versus Darby and Sting. I really want to watch that.
I can't wait
to be. I'm different.
Sells that guitar shot, bro.
Wait, what a park? Did you say, "Look at me, I'm different"? Honestly, though, I'm not even trying to be like the guy with the quirky view, like the quirky take. Like if I wanted to be that guy, I'd pick a more like just what are you talking about, like match, you know? But yeah, people do that.
Yeah, no, people love that. People love being different.
Bro, you'll see like these like quirky like Gleed accounts, and they'll just be like, "Yeah, the best young wrestler I'm seeing right now is like Cora Jade or something." It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, they'll be like, just pick like some random person. They're like, man, you know what? I really freaking love Zion Quinn, and I think he's great. Like you arbitrarily pick that person. You don't watch that show.
You know what I hate about pure accounts, bro? You know what I hate about pure accounts? They'll be like such and such is the greatest wrestler in the world, and they'll tag him. I'm like, I've never heard of this person before. I'll click their profile. Bro, they have like 27 followers and shit, bro. I don't think they're the greatest wrestler in the world. They can't even get their friends and family to follow them on Twitter, bro. Like, they can't be that good.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do in wrestling is make fun of Joshi indie mid-carders who show up on like every Joshi show. But it sucks because there's only like 7 people who speak English who understand my jokes. But it's like it's so sad because they're like the people that like randos on Twitter will get so fucking upset if you say anything negative about them. They're always, and I'll just be like yeah, it's Sakae Aoki. She fucking sucks. She's so bad at wrestling. She's terrible. All these people that you like, Hikari Noah, she sucks.
Somebody just got worked by somebody's kind of bad tweet by Parker the other day. Who did you say?
It was Robert Martyr. It was Robert Martyr.
Robert Martyr got worked.
I tweeted Shibata's kind of bad, and he was like, you know what? Give me some time. I'm sorry, Rob.
You sent Rob, it's like an existential rant, and he was like, "Look, man, you know, he looked better against Narita. You know, it's a style. Orange Cassidy doesn't do the hard hitting stuff." And I'm like, "Bro, Rob, he has not seen the match yet. Like, he has not seen the match. He's fucking."
What's your thoughts on Braun Strowman's tweet rants?
He's a fucking idiot, bro. I don't know. Like, he's so stupid, bro. Like he's got a good thing going for him right now. For some reason, it's not good enough for him. Like,
look at the screen.
Big AO, Mike.
This is not against TOS. Why do they just let you? Why do they let you gallivant around this site with this Abby, bro? Like, what's going on here?
Gallivant.
So my big muscular man. Lawyer man, nice of you to join.
Oh my god!
Nice of you to join.
What made you read that out, Hangman, in a British accent?
I just wanted to test out my regal accent.
Big AO, my muscular lawyer man, nice of you to join.
It stinks.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Let's see you do it. Let's see you do it,
Alexia, whose is better, mine or Hangman's?
It's obviously mine.
It's Parker's.
That's bullshit.
It's not bullshit if it's real.
Discourse on Ethan Page. Discourse on Ethan Page Twitter getting hacked for winning round 1 of the Full Gear title eliminator off of Eddie Kingston. What is he asking?
Oh, have you not seen all of Ethan Page tweets?
Discourse on Ethan Page Twitter
what
getting
happened?
hacked. What?
Oh, Ethan Page.
What is he asking?
He's asking us. He's just asking us to talk about it. Like,
he got
Ethan
hacked.
Page's Twitter got hacked?
Yeah, he got hacked and something like that.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
What did he tweet? I was gone.
I will send you.
He tweeted all kinds of shit, bro. It was just a bunch of gibberish.
They were talking about. It was so funny, bro. Like, first of all, he's like a straight up like anti-Semite. They hacked his Twitter. He was like, being white is okay, being black is okay, being Christian is okay, being gay, straight, American is okay. Didn't say anything about the Jews. The next tweet. The globalist elites, that control the media, they control everything that you say.
I think that was just Jobber Nation who just got the account. I don't know.
I can't lie,
bro. We're going crazy, bro.
He's replied to me multiple times now.
Yo, Parker.
Tweets pops me. I can't.
Yo, Pete. It was incredible. I asked when I was asking about the fucking Senate elections, like people were like, "Yeah, man, the country's cooked," and then Jobber Nation came in my replies and went, "Democracy is saved."
That's funny. I love this one. Is he black?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, no way.
Yeah, Jobber Nation.
No way.
No way. Channel.
Did you not know that?
Wait, does he show his face on it?
Yeah,
bro.
Oh my god, no way.
He replied to me about some random shit, and then I was like, "How do you feel about the All Japan Real World Tag League?" And then he was like, "What?"
I blocked Jobber Nation, not because his tweets like bother. I actually think his tweets are funny, but it's like He loves like quote retweeting my shit, and then it's just his army of incels.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing is when he quote tweets or something.
Yeah,
like
so I'm just like, bro,
he always
no,
retweets the Wrestle Purist page. He's a supporter.
He's the loyal fan.
Yo, Monty,
Jabber,
he's
if you're
on
watching,
like.
I think you're insane.
Well, the funny thing is, like, if I say anything remotely negative about AEW, he'll be like, even the AEW marks are catching on the tiny cons. I'm like, oh my god, tiny con.
Yo, the amount of times that he's like admitted that it's just a gimmick and he likes AEW, and people still fall for it.
The way he tweets is so good. It's like he's so good at being grating because he'll be like, just saying, just my opinion.
He'll be like, hey, Claudio won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal in WWE. AEW losing matches. Just saying.
When he tweeted that horrible stuff about Nyla Rose, and then a million people got mad at him, and he was just in every reply. He was like, "Hey, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. I can have my opinion. You can have your opinion. It's just my opinion." And it was like, "Oh my god!"
With that exact hand.
Yeah.
This super chat's in reference to the Jeff Jarrett promo. Showtime Spurs $2. Banana Nose Circus was a hell of a line. Jarrett he cut a real promo, you know.
That was a big like pop Twitter thing, and I thought his promo was awesome. I wasn't moved particularly either way about like that or to give you context, Parker. Jeff Jarrett cut a promo and he pointed at Satnam Singh and he said this isn't like a fake monster with like tight red skinny jeans in reference to Braun Strowman, and he's a prop. He was like he was like, this is not a fake monster with tight red skinny jeans propped up by the Banana Nose Circus, and he got a lot of the people on Twitter to kind of go, they're gonna show it.
Christ alive.
Yo, like it doesn't matter how many times we saw Hangman to stop doing that shit. Like,
can't do it
anymore.
So
to listen, bro. Like
it's just out of nowhere.
It was fitting. It was fitting. No. It was
like,
fitting.
I promise, nobody was doing that noise that you was making. Nobody was doing that.
No, Parker. I'll say. I mean, not. Ayo. When I was looking at the timeline, mad people were like, yo, Jim Jarrett. The Banana Nose Circus, Triple H in the mud.
Yeah, you're just mad because he insulted your daddy, bro.
Jared
is a real wrestler.
Hangman's so mad right now behind the screen. He's like,
I'm pacing.
Jared is a real wrestler.
Why didn't you stay in WWE?
He's a real promo. Teach all you slap nuts how to work in this business.
No, Jared's awesome. Listen. Like I said, him and Lethal versus people don't really. People, they're so awful. No, but here's the thing: that match is going to be beast. I'm sorry,
it should be fun. I can't wait for them to put it in the semi-main event spot and have it die.
Pete, you know, it's so funny. Brian and Dave, like and I don't know if you've heard them talk about Jared at all. They're just so mad. Like in general, they're just so mad that he's there, and they just all they can do is mention TNA, and they have PTSD. And Brian's just like. He kept the theme. It reminds me of TNA. He's just like,
yo, on AEW.
Oh, the music's good.
Yeah, and the full gear match is gonna be good. I don't want to hear him be crying.
Did you guys see his character work leading up to the GCW show this year?
She was awesome, bro.
When he came out, like it was a show live, and there was like rumors at the show. They were like, "Hey, I think Jeff Jarrett's here." And then after the alley catch. Kylie Ray match, he comes out with his creepy music that's like but it's like a remix version, and he's like dragging his guitar behind him, and he's dressed like the Undertaker, and then he stares a alley catch, and then he swings it across her face, and he domes her with it, and he leaves her for dead, and he walks out, and I was like, this is the greatest wrestler in the world.
What a fucking badass.
I was at the GCW show in Hammerstein Ballroom, and on my life, take away all the luchadors in their multi-man, and Jarrett was the best worker on that show.
What about AJ Gray?
He has the legendary ladder spot with AJ Gray. Wait, like he just kind of falls off the ladder, and the commentators
falls off the ladder.
Yo,
it's so funny.
watching that live is like astonishing. I was like, I wanted that match to end like really quickly because I told my friend next to me, I was like, yo, someone's gonna die in this match.
Yo, did y'all catch like all of those botches live?
Yes. No,
like, obviously y'all caught the AJ Gray botch. Like everybody caught that shit. But
yo,
like,
literally,
Jordan Oliver getting tombstone like in his skull, just going straight into the fucking ladder. Like, could y'all see that?
Ayo, literally, everyone in my section was just commenting on how like scary and bad the match was. Like, we were like, yo,
it was good. It was kind of good. It was almost good.
So bad it was good.
Yeah, it was so chaotic and dangerous.
You know, like I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Bro, this guy, I think his name was G Raver. He's on like the top of the ladder and like
Raver
jumps up.
Is not wrestling anymore. Do you know why?
No, what happened?
Accused of sexual assault.
No, that's crazy.
So he's number 2 in that match.
Yeah, there you go. He jumps off the ladder and like no one talks about the spot, but like he kind of slips off the top of it and like lands on nothing. And I was just like, what was that? Like, what's going on here? So yeah, Andrew the Giant, €2. Those are euros. Pounds. There you go. Jarrett for Wrestle of the Year.
Swine.
Jarrett Wrestle of the Year is something that someone on Twitter probably genuinely believes.
Yes, there's some shitter who's like, actually, he's the Wrestler of the Year. He's the only person who gets wrestling.
Yeah, right. I just think that Jarrett's output this year is just very. It's better than Okada.
Quality, not
he
quantity.
elevates everything he's a part of.
And I just think he was the best part of the Ric Flair match. He's better than Okada.
He's better than Andrade. Yeah, he's better. Yeah.
I love when Ric Flair on his podcast was talking about like Jarrett signing with AEW, and he was like, "That's that rub from there."
I actually agree with that though. I genuinely think PK 100% signed Jarrett because of that show, and also for both Jarrett segments. My biggest takeaway watching it was like, yo, Tony wants to sign Ric Flair so fucking badly. Like so fucking badly.
He wants to sign Flair. If he thought he could get away with it, he would.
He never will. He will
never.
He
won't.
He won't. He's definitely going back. Triple H would definitely give him a job at some point if he doesn't die first.
And the funny thing is, like, WWE could put Ric Flair on TV on Friday, on this Friday SmackDown. And like, yeah, AEW fans would get their dunks off. That's hilarious. Yeah, AEW fans would get their dunks off on Twitter, but like nobody would really care at the end of the day. Like, life would move on and shit. SmackDown still gonna do $2 million. Like, Ric Flair, like, but if AEW did it, it'd be the end of the fucking world, bro.
I don't know. I feel like at this point, I honestly feel like at this point, it would be like a Twitter thing for like a day. To be honest with you.
If AEW did it, or if WWE
if AEW did it,
I think the lethal thing, bro. It's like the lethal thing was like the lethal thing.
You know, so far, I feel like it'd be a thing.
Are we talking about Flair? Sorry.
If AEW brings Flair on, I think it'd be like a Twitter thing for a day, but then after that, people would just like accept it.
No, it'd be the plane ride from hell stuff was like in the
it's brutal.
It was too much. Yeah, it's like it's you can't see that like testimony from that woman and be like this person should.
Bro, I want to
hire this person.
I don't know if you saw
this. I was in a space, right? And everybody's like, oh my God, this motherfucker TK. How dare he? Jay Lethal, that monster putting him on TV. And I was like, yo, do y'all know what Jay Lethal's accused of doing? Nobody in the space knew, bro. Nobody fucking knew. So it's just like
but here's my thing though. I don't know if you guys saw this. Rick, because I'm seeing this Jarrett stuff, right? And it literally feels like Ric Flair Conrad verse being moved to AEW, Monty. Like, it literally feels like just that verse is moved over to Dynamite. And so that's why I'm saying it really feels like he wants to sign him. And Flair on his own podcast was like, I'm going to speak and give my side on the plane ride from hell. Like, he literally said this, Parker. He's going like, that's it.
This old man.
Time to put this to rest with my side.
And I know for a fact he's just like, bro, I want to get fucking signed, right? And so that's why he's gonna do it. And a bunch of people immediately pointed out, they're like, bro, you have told your recounting of the story over the last 20 years, and you have casually like laughed about it in various interviews. And I was like, oh shit, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it will never happen. I would be shocked if he ever gets.
Really, you would actually be floored if he.
When Vince was still around, there was they greenlit that Ric Flair documentary that they were working on. I don't know if Triple H is gonna bin that or what.
Look at this shit, bro.
Custodian Brian Pillman Jr. Me and Flair is the tag team. Dirty Flair in the game with the cleanest custodian in the game. Match made in heaven. Hashtag the custodian.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Brian Pillman Jr., bro, we appreciate you for tuning in every week. You know, donating your hard-earned money from cleaning the locker room and whatnot, making sure people pick up after
He's a supporter. He's a supporter.
Shit.
Good luck.
I have a question. Alexia, I have a question for you.
What's up?
What storyline is capturing you the most leading into Full Gear?
I actually have to think about this one. I would say out of all of them, probably like the Acclaimed. That's the one that's just drawn me more into, just because I like the Acclaimed in general, and just I don't know what other matches have been announced yet.
Let's go through it right now. Let's look at this Full Gear card, everybody, shall we? Full Gear. While I'm doing that, who do you think should win that match?
No, while I'm doing that, while he's doing that, Mad King 1984, 499. One of the great missed opportunity was an Inoki Vince match in the late 90s, but there would be a reasonable chance that Inoki would shoot on him. Bro, we're getting crazy now. These live shots are getting more and more colourful. You know?
Inoki knocking Vince the fuck out.
Mad King says things, and I'm like, I don't know about you.
Hey, you know what?
The only good use of Inoki is Inoki knocking Vince.
That's a good. You know what? You saved it, AO. That's so true. He should have done that, because everything else about Inokiism was fucking garbage. It was really bad. It led to really bad business. It led to really bad wrestling, not entertaining at all. Inoki Genome is the worst. Inoki Genome, IGF is worse than probably like current NWA.
Have you ever wait. Okay, so two things. Number one, have you ever seen the clip of God, it was freaking Luke Gallows and someone else wrestling, and Inoki was just like, he just called the match off. Have you ever seen that clip?
Yeah. Everyone's seen that.
He's like, stop it.
Yeah, I'll tell you this though, Parker. Bad promotion. We did get a 3 3/4 star Kurt Angle Brock Lesnar match in that promotion. I will say.
You're telling me a match that was a million times better at WrestleMania, even with like the biggest botch of all time?
True. That's a good point. Vince getting genuinely punched by Inoki would have been great viewing. Guys, this is the Full Gear card so far. Britt Baker is going to fight Saraya. How are we feeling about this, guys?
I'm excited about it. I'm ready. This is the most I enjoyed DMD in a long time.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I am. It's almost weird because it feels like this program is turning Britt face, but that's kind of bad for Jamie, because Jamie is supposed to break away from Britt and be the big baby face fighting Britt in theory, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. So something to monitor. Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose. Is anybody into this?
I'm into it. Program's good.
I'm into it. I'm excited for that.
It's my favorite Nyla Rose program ever.
Really? Monty, you're not looking into this, Monty.
Monty hates women's wrestling.
Garbage.
Monty hates women's wrestling.
It's garbage, bro. Like,
true.
You know, I like both the women involved, but like this, it's garbage. Like, what are we doing? You know,
I know we
got Jade running around after like Nyla's gonna be funny and pop herself and stuff like that, and you know what I mean. Like, she's funny, you know, she's great personality, but it's just, you know, Jade Cargill like running around after Nyla chasing about like a fucking child is just like, oh, come on.
Yo, Monty, you building up this platform just to tear down 2 black women is crazy.
Bro, I love Jade Cargill. Did you not see my code tweet earlier? There was a talented creator on Twitter, and they reached out to me like, Monty, please, bro, like, if we do these code tweets together, like Jade Cargill's gonna reply to me. And I was like, yo, you know what? I'll really respect Jade Cargill, so I'm gonna do it. And we done the code tweet, and the tweet blew up, bro. And Jade Cargill was in these kids' mentions, and I emailed Jade Cargill a clean version of the video and shit. I don't know what she's gonna do with it. I hope she posts it somewhere. But yeah, bro, I'm out here. I got verified. I may or may not pay for it. But I'm doing big things. I'm Purist, third highest watch video. Oh, Ayo, you should have verified. Instead of yourself, you should have verified on Purist.
Oh man.
No, well, the plan for the Imperius page, right, is I'm trying to see what Elon Musk is doing with unsuspending accounts. Because if I could get my old King AO account back, I'm gonna switch my new account's name to King AO, and I'm gonna switch the older account to Imperius, and then that's
a good idea.
5,000 followers on an Imperius account, as opposed to begging people to go follow a new account and shit. So that's why we haven't really tweeted anything on that account yet. We're just gonna give it a week or two, see what Elon does.
So Toni Storm is defending the AEW Interim Women's World Championship against Jamie Hayter. I don't think Jamie's winning this match. This would be, I believe, the third match between Storm and Hayter, but this one's for a title. What do you guys think about this, Monty? How you're feeling about the setup for this, and what do you think?
It'll probably, in terms of like work, right? It'll probably like comfortably like be like twice as good as pretty much anything else women's related on the card.
Yeah, that's yeah. I think so.
I'm actually like it's not something that like I'm eagerly anticipating or anything, but like when the match graphic pops up before the match, like I will get fired up for it. Yeah, man, it's just two good women's wrestlers having a world title match. I'm interested to see like what they actually do. Like Jamie, you know, obviously if Jamie won, I feel like that would be like very ballsy decision that I'd tip my hat to. It wouldn't even be that ballsy, to be honest. Jamie's over as fuck. Like, that's the thing. It would be them, like, you know, capitalizing on momentum. Because people wanted to win at Forbidden Door, bro. Like,
I think Britt Baker's going to cost her the match.
Yeah, probably. I was about to say, like, I'm interested to see like how they pull that, you know.
Because not Monty. Hangman earlier said it's like, oh, like Britt's kind of like getting babyface reactions again and shit from the Paige feud. So an easy way to do that is have Paige go over on Britt. Britt cries, "Oh, Jamie wasn't there for me, blah, blah, blah. She was only cared about her match." She comes out, gets revenge by costing her the match, starts the program. It's really easy booking.
Okay, the next thing on this list here, Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory 3. We probably would all agree that the first match was exceptional at All Out, right? The Acclaimed showed out on a level that they've never had before and had, honestly, one of the best tag title matches in AEW pay-per-view history. I thought that match was like tremendous. Their match at Arthur Ashe was really good, but not quite as good. And now we're running it a third time. Swerve is pretty comfortably a heel now. Keith Lee is not turned with him. Billy Gunn was kidnapped on Rampage 1 week, and it looked like he was getting sodomized, but what really happened was his scissoring fingers were clipped. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Alexia. Appreciate that. But yeah, so we're running it back here. Charlie, what do you think's going to happen here? Are you excited for this match? Is this the right tag match for the pay-per-view? What are you feeling about Acclaimed versus Siag 3?
I'm excited for it because of, like you said, they've had two really good matches. It's going to be a really good match. I'm more interested in what the dynamic's going to be between like Keith and Swerve, and I'm not really a fan of the whole can they coexist sort of thing, which is kind of what they're leaning into right now. But I think this will be where they split Keith and Swerve, because Swerve's going to try and cheat and Keith's going to stop him. That's going to cost them the match or something. And yeah, I'm excited for the match though.
Alexia, who should win this match?
I think the Acclaim should win, because I mean, if they're kind of teasing at, you know, Swerve in Our Glory breaking up, what's the point of putting the belt back on them if they're, you know, just
right? Talk to me, Monty.
Yeah, it's it's just they're doing it. I guess that they're doing it just to do the Swerve and Lee split. You know, I feel like that is not the main reason behind doing the match again. For that reason, putting it on pay-per-view, I don't know. I just hope it's as good as the other two. Hopefully, as it can get to the level as the first one, but it's not like it was. After the Acclaim won that second match, it's not like everyone was like, "Oh, we need to see that again." You know?
Yeah.
I feel like when we got the two matches in the space of a few weeks, we kind of like got our thrill of that like pairing for the moment. But it's not something that I'm not rolling my eyes at or angry about. It's just not. It's not something that like gets me get me fired up. Tag title AEW World Tag Title matches. I feel like should get me like fired up, like on pay-per-view anyway.
The Ring of Honor title is being defended in a fatal 4-way. It's going to be Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson. It's Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara.
That match is gonna be fucking amazing. Why are y'all moaning?
It's gonna be so good. What are you guys talking about?
So here's the deal.
I'm not.
Are y'all not exhausted? Like pretending like every time Sammy wrestles on TV, it's not amazing.
It's not.
Is it not actually like
tiring? I respect his wrestling ability. I just do not like Sammy Guevara.
My thing here is not even a Sammy thing. So I think as a match, this is going to be a pretty terrific match. Actually, from an in-ring standpoint, it's probably going to be one of the best matches of the night. I'm just, my whole thing about this on a broader level is I feel like Chris Jericho has an unfortunate habit of he finds things that have momentum, right? And like he'll have these feuds that are really good, and unfortunately he struggles with knowing when to end them, right? And there's like no end in sight to this Jericho Appreciation Society BCC feud, and it's problematic because he has singles victories over Danielson and Claudio. He has beat Danielson twice. He has beaten Danielson in a tag match where it was him and Sammy versus Garcia and Danielson. And it just kind of, at this point, it feels a little circular, and it feels like he's throwing in extra elements literally just to prolong this to Revolution. And so my whole thing is just like, I get it, but I don't want Bryan Danielson just stuck in the Jericho-verse for like half a year. He's too talented to me to just be kind of stuck in that orbit for this long when there's so many other good wrestlers you could work with. And it's unfortunate also to me because I thought Anarchy in the Arena I still think it's the match of the year. I have it at 5 stars. I think it's amazing, right? Like, I don't think anything's going to take that over that match for me, right? Blood and Guts, not as good, but very good match, right? But following that, I just think that there's a lot of momentum lost with a couple of guys, and like you look at what's happened to Eddie Kingston since like the barbed wire match, and now Danielson, who I'm not gonna be as dramatic as other people and say like, oh, he's nothing now or whatever. No, he's Bryan Danielson, right? He's gonna be amazing regardless. But I just feel like a lot of guys now are kind of running in place a little bit in an orbit that kind of feels like it's like never ending in a bit of a vortex, and so for that reason alone, it's kind of like man, I really just I think we should really start to try to
wrap it up.
I am right now. I was gonna say I think it's time to put a bow on the program.
I think okay.
Fuck, man. Talking about Jericho's feuds go too long. Yo,
I'm scrolling Twitter and shit, bro.
I think the thing with Jericho is,
I stopped listening.
Is like he's obviously a big star, probably the biggest star in AEW now that Punk's gone. So he needs his TV time, right? And then he's working with other high tech acts that also need their TV time. So it's like, what's the easiest way to get all these people on TV? It's like, just keep them involved with each other for 87 months in a row. Simple as that. So that's what they keep doing with Jericho. Like all of his feuds go way too long. Well, not way too long, but they all go too long. I think it's just like how can we get these people on TV? You should just keep their feud going. Easy as that.
Yeah. Monty, why does this matchup not work for you?
I don't know, man. I think it's just Appreciation Society and BCC stuff is just kind of it's run its course and then some, and then it got good, then it felt overdone again, and then it's just like the way of it, like the Sammy Guevara thing. It was just like randomly on one Dynamite they were like, "Wow, he's having a match with Danielson, 2 out of 3 falls," and then they've done the angle with him not being added to the match as well, and it just felt like, yo, why is this guy just like thrown into this? He's Jericho's boy, and locker room leader Jericho is going to get his boy in there. So that's just kind of what it feels like to me. Like Sammy Guevara as well, like he's a good wrestler, and he does get he kind of is like overhated, I guess. But at the same time, fans have like absolutely every right to kind of like be sick of him at the times that they were. But it's like if when people like pretend that he's like a bad worker, a bad wrestler, like I just can't get on board with it. It's like what Backup Man said, like literally as soon like the match itself in a vacuum will most likely be really good, Jericho's like the miracle man at 52 years of age. Claudio,
he's Claudio.
You've got Jericho, Danielson, Guevara. Like, it's come on. Well, of course it's going to be a good match, but it's just I don't know, man. It's just I feel like the feud's run its course, and Sammy Guevara's kind of just been like forced into this. So,
Alexia, what do you make of Jeff Jarrett's AEW run to this point?
His beast.
Are you excited for him and Jay Lethal versus Sting and Darby?
I mean, I don't think. Oh, I personally am not a big Jay Lethal fan.
Mm-hmm.
And like same thing with like Sammy. Like I can respect him.
Mm-hmm.
He can put on some solid matches, but overall in general, he just doesn't do anything for me. Like he's just there. So it's like having to sit down. It's like the same thing whenever it happened with Motor City Machine Guns, and they like I get like there's history and stuff, but it's just like.
Oh yeah, they teamed up in a trios match.
I just don't.
I see what you're saying. Jay, it's weird with Jay for me because I think he's a good worker, but I feel like a lot boring. Like a lot of just like his story stuff is just not super.
FTR had 2 forgettable matches, 2 AEW pay-per-views in a row.
Charlie, what do you think of this program?
Man? Yes
Charlie,
or no?
what do you think of this? Charlie,
yes or no, man? Yes or no? Yes or no, Hangman? Yes or no? Yes or no, Hangman? Yes or no?
Charlie, what do you think of this program?
Yes or no, Hangman? Yes or no? Did FTR have 2 forgettable matches, 2 pay-per-views in a row?
Charlie, are you?
Yes or no, Hangman? Yes or no, Hangman? Answer the question, Hangman. Answer the question,
Hangman. Answer the question, Hangman.
I
admit. Yo, that sucks.
Charlie, what do you think of Jeff Jarrett stuff in AEW so far?
I think it's been great. It pops me. I think he's really funny.
He's funny.
As for the tag match, like I don't really like Jay Lethal. I'm not a big fan of Darby either, even though like his in-ring stuff is the sort of stuff that I do love. I'm just not a fan of him in general. Okay. I think the match will be good, but I think it will just pop me more than anything when Jarrett hits Sting with the guitar. I think that's going to be the best spot of the match.
Because Sting is going to no-sell it and beat his chest and flex. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Monty, is there anything... Okay, so John Moxley's facing MJF, right? And you'd assume that the results should be cut and dry, right? Max wins and you move on. But it's pretty much been indicated on the show that like the firm is going to get involved and that Stokely's going to get involved with this whole thing. Are you a fan of that direction? And what do you think is going to happen here with this main event?
Oh. What is that? Was that directed at someone or open?
You.
Oh, me. Oh shit.
Yes.
The farm. Oh well, I think the farm's garbage, bro. I'm sick of it already.
That wasn't a question, but we'll roll with it.
You mentioned the farm and said how I feel about.
No, respect the firm, bro.
Nah.
I'm going to fucking love it.
I won't actually.
I'm going to love it.
The Gun Club.
I asked you. I said I was previewing the main event match of Moxley and MJF, and I said that you would assume that the result is cut and dry. Max wins, and that's it. But it's been indicated on screen that the firm will get involved. Stokely Hathaway has beef with Max, and so they're going to play a part in this. What do you think of that development, and what do you think is going to happen here?
I don't know, man. I'm not. It's kind of a shame. I'm really like not that interested in it. You know. If MJF wins, he'll win, and if Moxley wins, it'll be kind of like I don't know. The more fans will get a bit weird with him because, like you were saying earlier on, like the fans will probably be on side with MJF going into this.
Yeah,
especially if they've done the whole like the attack angle with the firm, and then he cut that promo yesterday out. It's like it's his time for the spotlight, and there was some heat. There was some heel lines in it, but it was pretty much a babyface promo.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish I was more into it. Is what I'll go with.
We're gonna take 20 minutes here, and we're gonna blaze through this Dynamite show. Just real quick, overarching. Ayo, what did you think of the show?
What do people just say that like I hate everything, bro? Like I'm getting accused of hating everything,
he's a miserable
bro.
Brit, bro. Monty hasn't seen the sun in 7 years. We just like different things, man. Like you guys like the elite and fucking. Why you say the elite like that, bro?
I know the elite.
The elite.
I didn't say like anything, bro. It's just my accent. No way. What you want from me? The elite, innit? Like,
yo, fuck CM.
You guys want to pop like bad boy law and shit, and you know.
What? It's just the elite, bro. What?
These comments are killing me.
Yeah, well, listen. I watch it all. You know?
They're saying you said elite like it's a slur.
Yeah. Well, look, guys. Dynamite was in Boston yesterday, Boston, Massachusetts. The home of Sasha Banks, who did a lot of trolling on social media about that show.
Can we stop paying Sasha attention? And I say this as someone who is Sasha Banks.
Last night, like 9:15, it was like as soon as Dynamite ends. Hangman's like in our chat. He's like, "Did Sasha show up?"
Like, yo, that shit was fun. I don't know. I said no immediately.
Everyone knows
get over yourself
as well. Everyone just no-sold it for like 10 minutes, and I replied to it with a bunch of question marks, and everyone just took the shit out of him.
I got jumped in the chat. Like,
bro, if Sasha Banks showed up in AEW, like, there's no hiding that. You would have known.
I'm getting accusations on my name.
I feel like you lie a lot of the time when you watch stuff back the next day when you're like, what's Shibata? I don't believe you a lot of the time.
Really? So, no. That's not true.
He's a bit of a fraud.
I got sworn. No. That's funny.
I don't know.
I don't know about it. Could you, yo, Parker? Could you imagine if like I knew everything on every Dynamite, right? But because like I got to be back and paying, man, it's like, oh shit, no. But here's the deal. Full transparency. Last week,
you almost scared Alexia away, bro.
Last week's show, right? I knew nothing except Colt Cabana because I happened to be on my phone as I'm doing my work, and I'm seeing everyone chat. Oh my god, holy shit, fuck CM Punk, and I'm like, what happened? I'm like, I got nervous, right? I'm like, holy shit, what happened? I check the chat, and they're like, oh, Colt Cabana showed up. I'm like, fuck off.
Wait, Hangman. Can I offer you a gentleman's gambit?
Okay, I don't know what that is, but sure.
Would you like to bet me money that Sasha Banks shows up in WWE by the end of Survivor Series?
Oh, that's a good Survivor Series.
I'll bet you $50 she does not show up.
Do you know something? Because you really.
He knows you're a fraud.
I know you're a fraud, dude. If I had done that every pay-per-view since July, I would have. I would have had such profit.
Are you forgetting? I already lost 40 in a bet with you about that for Clash of the Castle. Do you remember? I donated like your sister's.
Yeah, you donated.
Okay. You know what?
If you search back up Hangman Sasha, his tweets are all like, "Yeah, Sasha's gonna be here next week."
Yo, Hangman's the real backup Zero News.
That's not
his little brother. He's a real backup Zero News. That string of tweets that Parker said. That was crazy. No, Sasha's back this week. No. You pay attention to the show. You know, Sasha might pop up.
The PW
this is actually very fair. This is very fair from Showtime Spurs. Is Monty actually miserable because Chelsea trash? That is probably it's a serious underlying issue going on in my life right now. I've officially given up on my childhood club, and I think they're finished. And we have new American owners who are ruining the game, and it makes me genuinely depressed that our owner had to be Russian and be in bed with Putin, and that's why we're in the mud now. It's very depressing.
A real team.
Monty, if it makes you
Arsenal are not a real team.
Yes, they are.
Like,
Who's
we are not
Arsenal. They're real. I believe in them. I can't wait for them to
a real
win the
team won today.
Premier League.
Manchester United. Daberman scored.
They're not a real team.
Daberman scored.
There's one real team in the country.
Manchester United is back, baby.
It's Man City. They're the only real team in the country. I'm sick of it. The Premier League's finished. These American owners have come in to these great clubs.
You got a problem with Americans, Monty?
In football, in Premier League football, absolutely.
What football? I bet if I ran bloody Chelsea, it wouldn't be so shit.
Factual. You got it right.
Chelsea are shit though. It's great.
Yeah, we're fucked. We're fucked.
Wait, hold on. I had so I was reading the comments, and there's like, didn't mean to like interrupt. There was just like 2 different people that were asking me about the PW show this weekend. I just want to say it was really great. A lot of great matches on it, and
PWG.
Fuck Excalibur.
The wrestlers did great.
Yeah.
Yo, what's your beef with Excalibur, Monty?
Yeah, what was that about?
Definitely.
I've seen some things, man. You know, as I would say, I've got information that would lead to
Is it his angle that where he used the N-word from like 2005?
I mean, that don't help. That don't help the case, Parker.
There's actually worse stuff than that. Oh no, there's stuff just as bad as that. But
bro,
but I will say
worse than that.
No, like Excalibur used to be an F-word merchant. He used to he was an edgelord back in the day. He was a fucking edgelord.
Yeah.
But Monty can't hate Excalibur.
Welcome back to AEW Dynamite. We're gonna have this nigger Jay Lethal faces other nigger
Will Hobbs. Blackface.
Wait, what?
You're love the man who was in blackface.
What was the second name you said, Hangman?
I said, welcome back to AEW Dynamite with this nigger Jay Lethal facing this nigger Jay Will Hobbs and this other nigger.
I thought you said Will Ospreay.
Oh my God.
Could you, man? Will Ospreay, leaping sky twister. What a move there! He's basically a nigger.
Shut up. I just saw a comment. Can we let Alexia talk about PWG? Yes, please. Go ahead, Alexia.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
No, overall, like it was my first like time like actually going out to the West Coast and like a PWG show in general. The match, like the card itself was pretty good. I mean, there was like some like things that they had to change around. Like I think well, obviously Laredo Kid wasn't able to make it, but that Lucha Libre match, whenever the Blu-ray comes out, by far, I think it's definitely my match of the year, just because I was there and how good it was, and like the standing ovation that they had after the match was great. It was very emotional between the Commander and Bandido and all the guys in the ring, and then that Leo and Speedball match was insane. That was also like I think it might be my favorite Speedball match I've watched, but it was great. It was I couldn't have asked anything better. I mean, I got this cool little guy too.
Yeah.
Bandido.
Yeah.
That's signed as well, isn't it?
Huh?
He signed it, didn't he?
Yeah. He drew a little mask in it on the inside. Like
question.
That
Lucha match was the American debut, I believe, of Latigo. How did he look?
He did great. Yeah. I mean,
it's not
American debut.
Not an American debut. It was a PWG.
It was a PWG debut. I'm sorry.
PWG.
Yeah. How do you look?
What the fuck am I saying? It was good. He was like the one that got kind of like a little bit emotional after the match. Like he kind of just like sat in like in the corner of the ring. He just kind of started crying.
Talk.
And it was just like afterwards they gave like Bandido a mic and he just like talked. He's like put all the guys in the ring over. And it was just like such a sweet, like emotional like scene between the guys, because it was just like him saying, like telling all the guys like, hey, look at us, like we made it, you know, it's great that we're all here. And it was just it made me really happy for them, because you know I really like seeing like wrestlers that I like blowing up or just kind of getting their moment, or like their star, like their flowers. Yeah.
Is there anything else to look for on that show when it comes out?
The Masha and Jordan Grace match was good. That was great. They also did get a "Please Come Back" chant.
No, fuck Masha Slamovich. Fuck her.
Agendas aside, you know, it was a really solid match. Like I don't think there was like a moment in the card like that I was there that I was just kind of like, oh my god, get this match over with. Like I genuinely enjoyed every single one. Like they were all good. And I can't believe I have to wait like at least a few more months to rewatch them. But yeah, it was great. I'm really glad I was able to go.
Well, thank you so much for that recap, Alexia. We will not be able to watch the show for another.
I looked at that card and I was like, shit don't look that good. But
no, the matches did deliver though. Yeah. Yeah, like whenever I first saw the match, I was just like the card, I was just like, all right. But like actually being there, I guess, is just like different. So
yeah, 5-5-2-2, $2. What would Banana Nose offer Sasha? Whatever she wants.
Whatever she wants, except for working at AEW.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, obviously. But
basically. Speaking of AEW,
you don't want to do that anyway, so it's fine.
Speaking of AEW, last night was Dynamite in Boston. Ayo, what did you think of the show?
Yep.
I liked it.
Charlie, what did you think of the show?
I enjoyed it, yeah.
Alexia, what do you think of the show?
it's good.
Monty, what do you think of the show?
6 out of 10.
Dynamite opened with the AEW Tag Team Champions, the Acclaimed, teaming up with FTR, who got another big reaction. And they had a pretty fun party match with Swerve and Our Glory and the Gun Club. The real big takeaways of this is essentially they did tease FTR versus the Acclaimed. They had like a little kind of like tension stare down moment in the middle. And late in the match, we had this kind of fun Easter egg. For those that don't know, Road Dogg yesterday said that Bret Hart is not a great wrestler. And he said that he was a better sports entertainer than Bret Hart, and that's where the money is. So late in the match, Austin Gunn did the Road Dogg thing with like the punches and the little shimmy dance. But before he could finish the sequence, Dax put him in a sharpshooter. So that was kind of cute. But yeah, so the baby faces win in a party match. And also Billy Gunn made an appearance. He ran out at the beginning of the match. He tried to get at Swerve because Swerve kidnapped him. And he couldn't connect with Swerve because BJ Whitmer stopped him and pulled him back to the back. But that was the opener of the show. What did you make of any of this, Alexia?
Like the very first match itself?
Yeah.
I love the Gun Club. I'm not even going to lie about that. I love them. I think they're, they're great. They're, I don't know. Overall, it was enjoyable first opener match for the night. I don't really have anything much to say about that.
Charlie?
Yeah, I don't feel like there's a lot to say. I think the Gun Club are like a good like heel team at the moment, like especially for like the mid card and like because they need the heel tag teams. Yeah, I thought it was just fun and wasn't offensive or anything. Yeah, it was a good time.
Ayo.
His mic is off. I think his mic is off.
What was I gonna
say? Same, big bro.
Oh no, I think they need to do more 8-man tags with like stars in it. Like that's a good way to get people on TV. Like high work rate matches. Like people love that fucking match. There was 6 stars and 2 frauds. I'm not gonna point them out. Everybody knows who the 2 frauds were in that match.
Yeah, we do.
FTR. I think there should be. I think there should be like a big 8-man tag every other week in AEW. Fuck it, shoehorn them in, get people on TV, bro.
Do you remember that really awesome? Ayo, do you remember? It was the Super Click and Kenny Omega versus Danielson, Jurassic Express, and Christian.
Yes.
That match was awesome.
It was.
And that was a big time, like a lot of stars in it. There was another one. I think it was FTR. I want to say Malachi and somebody versus Cody, the Lucha Bros, and someone. Does this ring a bell? It was Andrade, Malachi, FTR versus Cody, Pac, and the Lucha Brothers. Really, really good tag. A lot better than the combination of people that when they did that match at Full Gear. And that's another example. I agree with you, Ayo. I think all-star tags are great, and I would like to see them more on Dynamite as well. Monty, what did you make of any of this stuff?
Well, we went round the room and like no one had an actual tag. There's just nothing to say about half of the shit, man. Like, it was, I had a fine tag match, like 8 decent to great wrestlers. That'd have fallen.
Well, after this match, we had a VTR. It was Stokely Hathaway walking through like the streets and stuff, and he cut a pre-tape promo about growing up with MJF, but suddenly he forgot where he came from. Stokely said MJF's dick riding of John Moxley without a license.
The MJF promo was before this, by the way.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? Yeah,
it was the opener MJF promo break, came back with the Stokely promo.
MJF had a promo and a podcast that he used on the show, and essentially what he said was that this match with Mox is really important because it's going to shape the future of pro wrestling. Max pointed out that the previous generational talents were people like Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan. I think he said Ric Flair, Dusty. He named The Rock, Austin, and John Cena, and then he said that he was going to be the next generational talent. He said that he was going to beat Mox. We kind of talked about it earlier. He basically touted himself as somebody who's so just made for this business and gifted that he's going to beat a guy like John, who is the best in the world in spite of the fact that he's not naturally gifted. I thought this was excellent. Max is great. Every promo Max has been cutting in the build of this match has been tremendous. This is no different. I think we would all agree on that, especially AO, who's the biggest MJF fan. Following this was a pre-tape with Stokely Hathaway.
Y'all like MJF?
Stokely Hathaway had a pre-tape where he was walking through the streets, and he said that MJF was dick riding John Moxley without a license. He said that he didn't need MJF, and he's going to do this without him, and he'll see Max in hell. So, are we in for a swerve here, guys? Like, what's going on?
MJF's winning the title.
I don't think he's winning it.
I'm not convinced.
MJF
gambling it.
I don't like. Okay, so did y'all see? Well, personally, the reason why I don't think he's winning is because didn't he just get casted in the Iron Claw for like that big A24 movie? So what's the point?
He's playing the fake Von Erich.
Yeah, so it's like, what's the point of putting the belt on a guy who's just gonna go away for a few months filming a movie?
That would really suck if Max just lost his match and disappeared. Like, that would really, really fucking suck.
Well,
there's no way.
What
if he wins and just drops it at Winter Is Coming? It's like a month later.
To
I
Ethan
don't
Page.
think want his first reign to be like that.
I'll be there.
Yeah, like to who, bro? Like fucking
could you
Paige? Like,
Ricky Starks.
Oh my! Could you imagine Ricky just getting this random like rocket ship? It's a good song. Speaking of Ethan Page, he faced Eddie Kingston, round 1 AEW title eliminator tournament. He went out. Him and Eddie wrestled. Eddie came out with Ortiz, who I got reminded existed yesterday. He's growing his hair back. Eddie Kingston got his Eddie chance as usual. During this match, the most notable thing actually about the match is that during the match, Tony Schiavone mentioned that AEW was coming to the United Kingdom in 2023.
Just threw it in on commentary, not a big deal or anything.
Threw it in on commentary. He was like, "Hey, by the way, I have an announcement of my own. AEW is going to the UK." And they're like, "Oh, that's awesome." Back suplex by Eddie Kingston, and just continued to talk about the match. Solid match. Ethan Page won with the Eagle's Edge off the top rope. What do you guys think of the result and of the match? I'm going to start with AO on this. What do you make of Ethan Page being a focus point of this tournament and being the guy who went over Eddie Kingston in round 1?
It's whatever, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not an Ethan Page fan, but a lot of people are. They like him. Whatever. He's getting pushed. It was obvious he was going to win when the match got announced. Everybody cried when the match got announced because it was obvious he was going to win. They cried, right? They cried for however long that was, a week or 72 hours, whenever the match was announced, whatever the fuck. And then it happens, and then they started crying again. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, didn't y'all get this all out of your system already? You knew what was gonna happen when the match got announced.
No, bro. That never happens. It never gets out the system, bro.
If I know something bad is gonna happen, and then it happens, like
it's like it's like when Backup Hangman says like this CM Punk elite discourse is gonna like go on for the next 10 years, bro. Like
yes,
we're fucked.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Listen, Ayo, I don't. It shouldn't be like that though. You know what I mean? Like this whole idea of like, this thing that we're not going to be a fan of is going to happen. So let's just prepare for it mentally and just accept it when it happens. Like at the end of the day, it just feels shitty when it happens, even if you know it's going to happen.
The thing is, I don't think it's not that big of a deal that Ethan Page beat Eddie Kingston. And I'm pushing Eddie right now. They're going to, but not.
Yeah, they're pushing
right
Ethan Page.
So whatever.
Yeah, Ethan Page is going to the finals of this tournament.
Is that not like inherently like? I don't know.
He's going to the Bandito is on this bracket, right? Brian Cage is on this bracket.
So is Roosh.
And Roosh, and like none of them are going to the finals. Like that's not a little like that's not like kind of ass to you or like just unfortunate. You know what I mean?
Incredibly.
In my opinion,
No,
and
it is. But what I'm saying is the reactions are disproportionate to the booking.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not a crier on the timeline. I just get like kind of sad when AEW does.
I had to give this guy a therapy session a few hours ago.
Yeah, I bother Monty with it. But like I go Jobber Nation in his messages. AEW will fail. AEW will fail. AEW will fail. AEW will fail. No, but like seriously, Pete said lie again, Hangman, and nobody buys me. That's bullshit. I'm not a crier. What I do is I get like sullen and sad. And honestly, genuinely, right, guys, Bandito's in this tournament, and we all agree that he's like sensational, right? I think it'd be a totally awesome jumping off point to get him in like the final. Bro, could you imagine? Fuck all these people. Anyway, guys, imagine if the finals, instead of Ethan Page, Ricky Starks, right? Imagine if it was Ryan Cage, Bandito, right? They tore the house down.
Pushing for this match. I want this match to happen.
Now, like Parker, would you agree? Like Bandito, Hangman, finals of a title contender tournament, like where they tear the house down.
Yes.
This morning.
No, I didn't. I mean, it's not.
You wrote a whole thread. I read it.
It's
earlier.
not.
It's
not. No, it's not crying. It's me lamenting the reality.
It's you crying.
No,
it's crying.
I am lamenting reality. You know.
We got Alfred Kanua. Thank you, boss man.
Thank you, Kunua. Yeah. Anyway. Ethan Page is going to the finals. That's cool for the people that like Ethan Page, I suppose. Not really clear if Eddie Kingston will be on this Full Gear card. I'd imagine he's going to be thrown on something in the buy-in at some point, or he has a program with. I don't even know. But that was that. After this match, what do we have here? Renee Paquette was backstage with Jose the assistant, Roosh in the Dark Order. Jose said that he wanted 10 there specifically because when Roosh wins, he likes 10, so he'll get the first title shot. While Uno, Reynolds, and Silver will never get one. Silver called Roosh a Roosh bag, and there was a pull apart.
Andrade being a dickhead has fucked this story.
Yeah, so...
Hey guys, I'm sorry.
No, don't do that, Monty. The story was obviously going in the spot where 10 was going to leave the
Wait, Ayo, hold on. What's up, P?
I have to leave. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh, can you give us a little bit of a song before you leave?
A song?
Yeah, can you sing "Legacy" by Eminem?
Yeah. I was trying to remember what it was.
Wait, what song?
Go ahead. It's "Legacy" by Eminem and Scott.
This is such a deep joke if they weren't there.
Thank you so much, P. Appreciate that.
Parker.
That's awesome.
I
used to be the type of
follow that account. If you're watching
follow
this
it,
and you don't follow that, I literally hate you.
Yeah, honestly.
All right. Bye, guys.
Really sad. I'm really sad. Okay.
And all life change comes whatever.
Okay, we're
will still be friends forever. That was me serenading Parker on his way out.
Thank you, Ayo. Thank you.
6 stars.
Ayo, do you give a fuck about this 10 program with LFI?
No, because Andrade wanted to twerk for fucking Banana Nose, man. So he's fucked the story, bro. He's fucked his cousin's push. You know, it's just all fucked. Fuck you, Andrade.
Everybody in the chat is hyping up this singing. And AO is objectively not as good as me as singing, and yet you bastards put
Nah. Pause. Hangman.
You what?
AO gets away with it because he's AO. You don't get to do that.
And that's bullshit. Like it's this man can wail, and people are like, yo, fire, Grammy, and then I
cry, pussy, and then cry, pussy,
and then I will objectively decent singing, and people are like, boo, tomato.
We should actually do. We gotta do like a karaoke, man. We'll do like wrestling themes. Yeah.
There was actually times in the in Discord where we sang a song.
Oh my god!
Like,
yes, I remember that.
I'm not gonna say this song on air, bro.
Yo, Phoenix said,
"This is crazy."
Cole saying that shit.
Hey, oh god! Oh my god!
This is bullshit. This is bullshit.
Yo,
cut.
Why is the chat frying me again? Like I'm saying the truth. Because bullshit.
You just called yourself an objectively nice singer.
My lifetime, right?
Pretty decent.
Like, yo, thank you, AO. Thank you for the content. Thank you.
Fuck that.
Voice. You started crying. Why when AO sings, everybody starts twerking, but when I sing, everybody throws tomatoes?
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's not how.
Kind of is.
No, you started like this. Why when AO sings, everybody just starts twerking, like but when I sing, everybody just starts throwing tomatoes?
This is bullshit. Why is
character syndrome? Sassy guy.
I'm not a sassy guy.
This is sassy ass nigga, bro.
I'm objectively a better singer than Chris Jericho. Like honestly, like it's and the fact that I get booed and tomatoes.
Yeah, that's what so he's talking about.
That was so fucking
bad. Jericho wasn't even singing in that clip. He was like yelling, bro.
It just was. It was not the right song choice.
The only note Jericho does is like every note he sings in word is just in that tone of just
This fake British accent he put on to try and trick the judges of it was just all comedy.
Why is Isra saying that I am feisty as hell? I'm not feisty.
Because she's
bro. You've got main character syndrome. You're a diva.
I'm not a diva. AO's a bigger than me. AO gets in the AO whines backstage and he needs followers.
AO is never serious, bro. Like you get all like upset and in your feelings.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm not. Who is Hang Ho am a rip? Anyway, listen. Peach said I'm the leader of the sassy man epidemic. That's not true. That's not true. Angsty Apple Dummy, I appreciate you. This individual said that my impressions are amazing. I appreciate that. AJ says I'm Quincy Elliott. I don't see that. I don't
you low key are Quincy Elliott.
That's bullshit.
Quincy Elliott.
That's bullshit.
Low key, I see where they're coming from.
Do any of you guys give a fuck about this program with 10 and LFI?
No, I don't.
No, of course not.
No, I don't.
Next up on the show was the
Wardlow.
So while the Ethan Page versus Eddie Kingston match was going on, there was a little graphic in the corner like Wardlow open challenge. I was like, oh, yeah. So what's it gonna be? You know, really raised my anticipation and excitement for the show. You know, as you do watching Dynamite, you never know what surprises are gonna happen. And when they get to the segment, it's just Daivari in the ring talking shit, and Wardlow comes out, squashes. It was just like, what's the point of doing an open challenge? But that isn't even really like the talking point, is it? Obviously, after the match, Wardlow calls out Will Hobbs because Will Hobbs has been attacking him after his matches. Will Hobbs comes to the top of the ramp and they're going back and forth. Wardlow cuts a promo on Hobbs and says that he'd be able to take every title in the company or something along those lines. Wardlow gives him a bit of a weird look and just kind of he takes him out with a belt, chokes him out, and it looks like we're going to be getting a freeway between Hobbs, Joe, and Wardlow, it seems. So,
do you think it's moved for both of the belts or just the TNT?
I think it's probably for the TNT. To be honest.
It could be for both, bro. Because what are they actually doing with the Ring of Honor TV at all? Like,
I don't know.
You know,
I'd probably both Will Hobbs, to be honest. I think that'd be great.
Someone said, is Hangman Summer Rae or Natalia? What the fuck?
Ooh.
Natalia, bro. This is a Natalia channel around here. Like, even if the Wrestle Purist.
That's a reference to Total Divas.
Yeah, man. Like, even if anyone that's part of Wrestle Purist, it's like it's part of the initiation. Like, you get asked some around Natalia, and if you say some around, like, you can't, you just can't deal with it.
What's the lore here? What's the joke? I don't get it.
They have like sassy girl beef on that show.
Yeah.
That's Hangman, bro. Whenever Hangman thinks that we're like diminishing him, he like throws a little temper tantrum in the group chat and shit.
It's not true.
You guys don't appreciate. No, he's like, you guys don't appreciate the contribution.
Oh my god!
You want to know
more?
Back up Hangman goes. This is what he does in these group chats. Like, say if he's like, he'll just randomly come into the group chat and he'll be like, oh well, fucking, I'm trying to think of like just some obscure match, bro. Like, it'll be like, oh, Axiom versus JD McDonough on Tuesday, and he'll like start breaking it down, and like someone like Chris Ray will be like, bro, nobody gives a fuck. Like,
fuck you.
And he'll be like, no, but like. And he'll be like, no, but like, and he just starts explaining. It's like, bro, this shit is so they were joking.
Rob and Hangman, bro. Rob and Hangman are the kings of live DMing us their thoughts on the show that they're the only ones that are watching and will ever watch. Like, we're not, like, why are you telling us these things, bro? We do not care.
I'm being bullied.
And seeing it, JD versus Axiom was great. I was just trying to think of a random, like, obscure match that like most people wouldn't have seen.
That's the funny thing. That was a really, really good match, and I'm being bullied for liking a good match.
Good.
But that's what happens at Wrestle Purist, Guys like me who contribute a lot to the platform get hated on, But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? People will learn eventually, or maybe they won't. Wardlow faced Arya Daivari. He squashed him. He turned heel. You already broke this down. We're probably getting a 3-way. That's cool, I suppose. Samoa Joe's going to get pinned in that. After this, Renee Paquette was backstage with Jade Cargill and the Baddies, and it was made official that Jade is facing Nyla, and Jade said she was going to handle her on Rampage. Britt Baker and Saraya had the face-to-face. We talked about this. Jay Lethal faced Trent Beretta. Really random match. Did anybody care about this?
I cared about Trent. No.
Yeah, I care about Trent.
I'm not going to get canceled, so I'm just going to say, no, I didn't care about the match.
After the match, go ahead.
Yeah, I care about the match, nigga. That shit was gas.
It's just like the reasoning behind the match happening in the first place was literally just Trent coming up to, walking up to Jay Lethal and the guys calling him a dickhead or whatever he called him.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, yeah, let's do the match. And he's just,
didn't Orange Cassidy
bro? I like your face, nigga. Let's fight. Real shit.
Telling stories,
After the match, Jeff Jarrett cut a promo, hyped up the tag match. Backstage, Renee Paquette was with Jungle Boy.
What is happening?
What's wrong?
Oh, no.
Ask if I'm Yoruba. No, I'm not Yoruba. I'm Igbo.
Why are Chris and Rob here?
Bitch ass nigga, because we run shit, pussy. The fuck you mean?
It's a fact. The fuck, nigga? I'm Purist runs this channel. I'm Purist runs fucking Purist. We move when we move.
We keep the fucking lights on, nigga. The fuck.
Then I put $1 and cents.
Yes, sir.
I'm Purist gang, nigga. What the fuck is we talking about?
Yeah. Spitting your bitch ass.
Spit on him again. Spit on his bitch ass. He spit on his bitch ass, nigga. Shut up, Hangman. That's why little Moses here. One more for the road.
Are you children done?
So yeah.
So has Worldwide ever done 5K? Just asking. Just asking a question.
I don't know. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Jungle Boy said that Luchasaurus and Christian Cage don't decide when it's over between them. He has a challenge regarding Full Gear for the both of them, but he wants to do it face to face on Rampage. So we're gonna find out on Rampage.
Everybody, what the challenge was?
No.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So the challenge was. I won't do that. Not for respect out of you, Hangman. I'm gonna DM you that personally just so you can see it. I hope you fucking forget I said this.
Thank you.
Pussy.
John Moxley cut a promo, tied his history with William Regal to MJF, and just kind of hyped up the pay-per-view match. Personally, I thought the content of the promo was good. It was the right way to run down your opponent, but also set up a match. But with that said, the prevailing feeling I got out of the segment was just that even though MJF is hot, MJF Moxley is not a hot program, to be honest with you. It's missing that. Like, it doesn't feel like this really heated like thing. And that's just kind of my takeaway from it. I don't know how you felt about it, Charlie.
It does.
I think
Hangman, you gotta put parody in your name.
Why?
Elon Musk just tweeted, going forward, accounts engaged in parody must include parody in their name, not just in bio.
It is his name.
It used to.
It is
I'm
in
pretty
his
sure.
name.
I'm pretty sure.
Hangman, the gimmick might be over, bro. You might as well.
No. Parody's on my name.
Oh, it is.
Sadly.
Yeah, it is. People used to wonder why, and it was because Adam Pearce tried to get my account.
Well, she did.
Charlie, do you feel that Mox versus MJF is a hot program right now?
I wouldn't say that it's like a hot program, but I think it's all been good. Like all the promos they've done for it have been really good. Sure. And as someone
you want to know why it's not a hot program?
Can you not interrupt Charlie, please?
My bad, Charlie.
Thank you.
The only good British person.
No.
Fuck you, Monty.
But yeah, obviously I've actively said that I'm not an MJF fan, but I think the promos he's done for this has been like some of his best work since like the CM Punk stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for the match. I'm just not sure how it's gonna like play out in the results. So. Yeah.
Thank you, Charlie. I will tell you why this is now a hot feud and whose fault this is. It is Maxwell Jacob Friedman's fault. You know what? You want to know why it's his fault? Because this nigga doesn't fucking wrestle, bro. How am I supposed to get anticipated for a nigga that wrestles?
That shit.
He's wrestled once since he's came back. And don't give me that. He's a big star. He doesn't have to wrestle. Roman Reigns wrestles more than this nigga, bro.
Talk, nigga, like, talk.
You gotta wrestle at least like once a fucking month, my nigga. Like
every 2 months at least.
3 weeks ago. It's
like,
bro,
wrestle, bro.
You're not The Rock, nigga. You can wrestle more than once a fucking month.
Right.
That was for you, Hangman.
Jamie Hayter faced Sky Blue, and she won.
That was a good match.
This is a generational match.
Yo, I cannot believe how much I like that match, bro.
Yeah, I really like that match.
Sky Blue is actually. Can you imagine a young women's wrestler getting better before our eyes?
Exactly. Generational.
It's impressive stuff. She really showed out in that.
They actually had a really good match on Rampage.
Remember the King AO tweets? I used to be on Sky Blue's ass, bro. Like I used to trash her all the time because she had no business being on TV when she was. And I don't know. I think she's gotten a lot better. She's still got a long way to go. And shout out to Dante Martin, Sky Blue. We know what you did to the homie. But,
God,
facts.
That's neither here nor there.
God.
Hayter attacked Blue after the match, and Tony Storm chased her off.
Well, Tony Storm was already out there to begin with, so I forgot that part.
I've been sent a picture of CM Punk at some MMA promotion that he's doing.
Nigga couldn't even get the Bellator.
couldn't even get
I think is it the same promote? Does it? I think it's the same one as before. But
yeah, it's the same one as before.
So is he back just doing commentary for it?
Yeah, he's finished, bro. It's over for him.
Yo,
This picture's funny. I don't know why it's funny.
I love it.
I feel like he has a go-to look for when he's wrestling versus when he's just like dealing with real life. You know, like I feel like when he's in wrestling mode, he cuts the hair down, he grows the beard out, and then when he's like going through life, he just like decides to look like Shaggy.
I need
this
that
nigga is fancy booking this nigga's life, bro. Get a fucking life, pussy.
Get a life, bro.
I need whatever MMA.
He don't know you, little bro.
I need whatever.
What did you guys think of Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara?
Made promotion to let him
I
go.
thought it was fucking amazing.
It was fucking fantastic.
like,
4.5 stars.
4.5. I can highball the 4 3/4, but I won't do that because Monty gets mad at me when I highball stuff. But it was a really good match. Sammy and Brian have lots of chemistry. Sammy has hit in every big match, except maybe one he didn't hit in. Sammy has hit most of all his big matches.
Sammy's hitting every single one of his big matches, bro. The only one that he complained about is Scorpio Sky match where he didn't really sell that much. And it's like these niggas who don't care about something but just hate saying, like, well, where's the psychology? Shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
I thought his most hated match was the one where him and Matt Hardy fell off the scaffold.
That wasn't his fault though. Like niggas knew it wasn't his fault.
That don't count.
Oh, you're scared.
That was more real world.
Who do because there's that many people have to like go through the rows of people. Like, who did we lose?
Charlie, what did you think of? Charlie, what did you think of Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match. It's interesting that they did the same stipulation that he did with Danny. So I don't know if they're starting to push towards doing Daniel Garcia versus Sammy Guevara at some point. But
I have a hot take. I think the two Sammy versus Danielson matches are better than the two Daniel Garcia versus Danielson matches.
I strongly disagree.
I think the 2 out of 3 falls match probably Daniels was probably better. I agree with that. But I think the just 1-on-1 like first matches they had, I think Sammy's is like way better.
I don't know. I think
Daniel's best match is against Mox at the California show.
That match is awesome. Yeah. That match is great. I love that match. Monty, what did you think of this main event?
No. He might be cooking. DG wrestles Mox way better than Sammy wrestles Mox.
He does. I mean,
and then Sammy's matches with Danielson are. I'm not gonna call them better than DG's matches with Danielson. So I would say I think I found more entertainment in them, but I don't know. It's just like style. It's like styles makes fights and shit. I think DG versus Mox is a much better combination than Sammy versus Mox, and Sammy versus Danielson has been more entertaining than DG versus Danielson. But DG's had generational matches with Danielson. Don't get me wrong at all, but Sammy be going crazy against Danielson too.
Plus, Tay Conti was looking generational on the outside. Shout out to Jimmy Schwartz.
Damn, nigga.
The matches are good, like all of them. Like the Danielson Garcia matches are great. The Sammy Guevara Danielson matches are really good as well. But I'm on the other side of the fence on that one. I think the Danielson Garcia matches are like comfortably better. But yeah, like Sammy's matches in his own right, they're still great matches. So
some of the counters Sammy were doing, and like the late game matches. The late game of that match was fucking incredible. Like, I think he countered a Busaiku knee into a fucking sharpshooter. That shit was fire, bro. Way better than Dax's sharpshooter, by the way.
That's a fact.
So that was Dynamite.
No, Dax's sharpshooter is worse than
The Rock's.
It's worse than Natalia's in 2012.
Well, Natalia got the best.
Hold on.
Natalia's is better than Brett.
On. Let's not do this.
So that was Dynamite.
I'm just saying, like, it's sharp.
Bro, hey man, nigga, shut up. We ain't letting you pass up our feelings, nigga. You ain't the only one that needs to talk.
Yes.
I've been letting you get your shit off, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Lexi, what did you think of the main event?
Oh, dude.
Wait. Hold on. What was the main event? I forgot already. It was good. I mean, I like Brian, so he had a great match.
I won't let you get that off, Alexia. I won't let you get that off. Brian is a great wrestler. He's probably the greatest wrestler of all time. Brian cannot just carry anybody to a 4.5-star match. Like, we're not going to let that shit fly.
We gotta stop this, bro. We gotta stop this. Stop pretending like every time Danielson gets in the ring, the match. We saw him do the Dark Order Gauntlet. We saw
those matches were awesome.
Where were the 4.5 star matches in the Dark Order Gauntlet?
They're all sub 5 minute squashes.
Come on, bro.
No, they weren't.
No, they weren't. Some of them were. Hold on, let me check.
None of them. They're all.
Coca Cabana match went like 10 minutes. That match.
No, it fucking didn't.
But either way, none of those matches were set up like either Sammy Guevara match.
You have to be this epic great wrestler.
All right, bro. Are we gonna pretend that Evil Uno versus Bryan Danielson was gonna go 4.5 if TK gave him 20 minutes? Is that what we're gonna pretend right now?
Yeah, they're about to pretend that. Yeah.
I believe that is exactly what Alexia is saying.
That is nasty. Y'all really thought Ken Danielson versus 10 was going to be 4 3/4 if they got 15 minutes. This is disgusting.
So Dynamite ended with Danielson winning the match like that. There was no post-match angle, and that was just the show right there.
Yeah, I think they ran out of time, to be honest.
Probably. Rampage is scheduled this week to have Orange Cassidy defending his All-Atlantic Championship against Lee Johnson. It's Lee Johnson's return to AEW programming after.
I'm so glad Lee Johnson is back.
I'm really curious what he looks like. There's a lot of stuff scheduled for the show. Jungle Boy is going to have a face-off with Luchasaurus and Christian Cage. Bandito is facing Roosh. Brian Cage is facing Dante
I heard
Martin.
the match is fucking amazing.
Hangman, do you like John Silver?
Yeah, I actually do.
I like him too. Did you think his match with Danielson was 4.5?
No, but it wasn't set up to be that.
It went 11 minutes. It had enough time.
Right.
On Rampage,
he doesn't think the Guevara
try, Monty. Try,
Dante Martin is facing Brian Cage, and Nyla Rose is a TBS Open Challenge. So we have 4 matches and 1 angle set on this show. That seems a bit cramped.
The angle is going to be a fucking. Shut the fuck up!
Can I finish?
The angle is going to be backstage.
You just anyway. Yeah, so it looks like we got 4 matches here. Unfortunately, it looks like we're gonna skip entrances on this Rampage, which I wasn't looking forward to. I was happy. I was happy when it was.
My bad.
I wanted to see Bandito's entrance so bad.
I'm very sensitive.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Chris today. But yeah, so originally it was the 3 tournament matches. It appears that the Ricky Starks match is not going to happen with Lance Archer. He got attacked backstage during Dynamite. I was really looking. I still am looking for
Dynamite.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this Rampage, and I still am because this is a very promising lineup compared to what the show's been doing. And I'm still looking forward to it, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good wrestling. But when it was just 3 matches, I was looking forward to seeing the full entrances and the matches breathing. But it appears to be one of those like really kind of the shows that they're trying to really pack it in, meaning entrances get skipped and stuff like that. But nonetheless, it's a show with direction. You get 2 tournament matches. Nyla's going to have a challenge, probably going to squash somebody, and we get to see Lee Johnson again. That's going to be interesting because we haven't seen Lee in a while, and I'm curious where he's at right now, how he looks after the injury. And so that's AEW this week.
I like Big Shotty Lee a lot. I hope he stops with the Cody merchantry. What he did at Battle Slam was very nasty. Don't ever do that again, Lee.
What did he do?
He did. But I posted it on my old account, but he literally, so he had Nightmare Family tights. He did Cody's top rope taunt on his entrance. He did 2 crossroads. He did a couple more.
He took off his weight belt. It
was literally just complete Cody cosplay. And this is a man
so we decided to work like a real wrestler for once.
Why is someone who is capable of doing a spiral tap doing a crossroads, bro? I don't want to see that shit.
Real wrestling, bro.
Monty, were you a fan of Cody in AEW? Did you like his AEW stuff?
Did I like the Codyverse?
Yeah, did you like the Codyverse?
The Codyverse, I was just kind of like, I was along for the ride.
You're really just a WWE stan. You don't even like
Cody. I love Codyverse. I like the Codyverse.
Yeah, Cody and AEW. I want one of the people on the bandwagon dunking on the goal. Absolutely not.
Yes,
that was not me. No, it wasn't.
I was on.
Listen, this is what I said about Cody Reynolds. I like Cody. When he put that Rhodes back on his name, something happened to him where he was like, "Oh yeah, now I got to make Dusty proud" type shit. I like Cody.
It's
Cody,
fucking it's Beast, bro.
No, it was not Beast. The QT trilogy was not Beast.
Yo, they're trying to run a 6-month Mid-South feud with QT Marshall. I was defending it, bro. I was defending it.
I love Cody. Like, I'm not.
I was like, yo, Nick Comoroto might be something one day.
Nick Comoroto was main eventing Dynamites with Dustin and shit.
Yo, Nick Comoroto main evented the Dynamite after Double or Nothing, bro. Like it was, but it was preempted. So like I guess they weren't expecting people to watch the main event. So I think the Young Bucks opened that show, but come on, bro. After Double or Nothing, after the first show, like from the pandemic, you can't put Nick Camarado versus Dustin Rhodes in the main event. That was nasty, TK. That was nasty, Cody. I know you booked that shit, Cody.
Bro, those Dynamites that were on Saturdays were so bad, bro. It was so hard to watch.
Yep. This Dynamite was not on a Saturday. It was on a Wednesday, and this Wrestle Pierce podcast was on a Thursday. Really fun show. Unfortunately, I only see 60. What are you looking at? 62 likes. So, guys, if we still have a number of live viewers here, 115 to be exact. So, if you guys could like the video, please like the video. Like the video. You know, if you like us, then you should like the video.
Remind y'all every time. Like if we don't remind y'all to like the video, y'all don't like it.
You have to do it, bro. It's brutal, you know. But like at the end of the day, it's like what you got to do. It's like you know, you see all the big channels, and always like throughout the videos, like every single stream, they'll do a 3-hour stream. They'll tell you to like and subscribe like every 15 minutes, bro. And like, I get it now, you know, but it's still something that we're never probably gonna do. But we'll do it at the start if we remember. We'll do a few more throughout the show, but you know.
Look, man, look. If you come to the Pure stream tomorrow, come on the video when the stream's done, entered into a contest, $50 worth of Bitcoin from Big AO himself.
That was an advertisement from Big AO himself. Guys, listen, please like the video. Tomorrow is going to be Unpurist. It's going to be some fun stuff. AO is going to be there. Chris is going to be there. Rob is going to be there. It's going to be some good stuff. And this week, episode 2 of the Wrestle Pierce Divas podcast. So that's going to be awesome. The first women's podcast was awesome. So I'm really looking forward to a sequel this Sunday, I believe. And so, guys, you better be there. You better support. Isra is going to be there. Charlie is going to be there. You know, the rest yet to be determined, but it should be another fun show.
We'll figure it out, man.
We'll figure it out.
We got the divas. So yeah, we've got tomorrow we've got Unpurist. That'll be obviously Chris, Rob, and AO, the 3 guys that you see here. They're going to be doing what they do. Support that. Send them loads of money for super chats. Like the videos. Go run up the last video that's just hit 5K from last week. Tuesday we did Dumb Guy Live with Park, who was on earlier. So if you liked what he had to say, make sure you go support his thing that he's doing on our channel. He does that every Tuesday. Then Sunday, like Backpackman was just saying, we've got the Divas podcast back again for episode 2. Isra, Charlie, they're going to be there. Alexia's not 100% sure she's going to be there. We'll figure stuff out. You know, we've got a good women's roster. We'll put something together. But yeah, Divas podcast Sunday. Monday's Wrestle Purist Worldwide, which is just a lot of backup hangman waffle.
Cut Purist.
Yeah, whatever.
Monty, can I say something right quick about Unpurist?
Yeah, man, put it over.
If you don't want me, AO, and Rob to get into our Nick Khan bag, go ahead and support the episode we put out tomorrow. Or don't. But there will be repercussions.
Look, man. I'll take my couch to the bump.
Yeah, man. Unpurist 6 p.m. Fridays. Run that shit up. Obviously, like, subscribe here if you're still in here. Do me a favor, when we finish uploading this, so immediately after the stream ends, please leave us a comment. Slander Hangman, slander myself, put over AO, do whatever it is what you want to do. Just leave a comment, even if it's just like an emoji or just something. Just leave it, it helps. Like I said, the likes help. The subs, obviously, if you're not subbed and you're watching these live streams, and that's
I like your show, yeah.
Spiteful. But yeah, Unpurist tomorrow. This has been a Wrestle podcast episode 53.
Charlie and I unintentionally matched. Yeah, we both wearing like
we didn't plan this.
Yeah, I know, it was so funny.
I'm actually wearing knockoff Bullet Club hoodie right now.
But yeah, let's get out of here. I've been
when we're done.
Yo, shut up, bro.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm calling Chris too.
Yeah. Relax.
Yeah, Hangman, Charlie,
That was
Rob,
really
Chris, Ayo, Alexia, Parker from earlier. We appreciate you hanging out. Please like, comment, like I was
This is
saying.
British Harry
And,
Potter. Fucking you.
we'll catch you next time.
Why does this nigga mute me?